The anti-TikTokers live, huh? Thank you, Nancy. Hello, DK. This is the after show. The lackluster after show, I think. I don't know. You forgot about... Oh, my God. Thank you, Trigger Warning. Was it any good? Of course it was good. Always. Do you know what I said to Andy? Thank you, Sarah, for the astronaut koala. We are in that campaign, so you know, cool in the gang. Has no receipt. She claims to protect her sources. Yeah, I mean, do you know what it is? Right, is that I think a really valid point is, when does awareness become bullying? You know. And also, it's just like an insane amount of like resentment and what was the obsession? There you go. Thank you, Trigger Warning. Thank you, Anne. Do you know? It's vindictive. You know, I'm not going to lie to you. I don't really know what vindictive means. Whoopsie poopsie. I'm thick as pig shit. Oh, yes. Condescending indeed. You know, thank you, Spoopy. Thanks, Becky. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Queen Rachie. You know, it just... If you just put it into context, like, of course... to be cruel and destructive with no empathy. Oh, okay. Thank you, Zero Drama Needed. I appreciate that, because, like, honestly, I've only just really understood, I think, the meaning of gaslighting, and I still don't think I'm quite there. So, you must treat me like I'm an infant when it comes to explaining things, because you use a big word and I'm just like, hi, Tanya. Yes, I can barely probably spell it, to be honest with you. Yeah, you know, thank you, Jackie. It's an interesting thought, you know. Thank you, Miss Unfiltered. Oh, you lost it, did you? Let me follow you back. Pickle. Hold on. There you go. I got you. Oh, well, I've requested you anyway. Hi, Michelle. Thanks, Pamsky. It's Kelly. Oh, hello, Kelly. You all right? I can't bloody handle it when people change their name. I really can't. You know, look, the thing is I did see some messages in Andy's live where apparently she's sort of come on being a little bit more of the timid nature and stuff like that. And it's just like, the old lady shtick is not going to hold, you know? I can do a word of the day to say, oh, that would be great. Thank you, Pamsky. Yes. I don't know what we're doing, where we are in the campaign, but yes. Thank you, Sausage. Thank you, Ali. Yeah, that's kind of like how I see it. It's just like, don't try and play like, you know, the timid old lady when you're quite happy to sit there and be quite aggressive in your tonality when it comes to certain things. Thank you, Angelina. That's very sweet of you. Thank you so much. I hope mods are pinning people, by the way. And if you're not, please. Thank you, Pamsky. You know? Thank you, Tulene. Pockerz, do you like Mrs. DeVere's adventure so far? I do indeed, yes. Mrs. DeVere is very grateful. Yes, she is. Let's not turn this into like a Mensa, you know, competition or whatever. Like, I'm thick as pig shit. Let's just appreciate that is the fact. Thank you, Witch Queen. You are sausage. Thank you, Kelly. You know? Thank you, Witch Queen. So, I mean, this is the thing, right? Is that I think it's hard, right? Because I know that that Joe has specifically, you know, always said about other people's digital footprints. And it's just like, you are aware that you have one too, you know? We all have one. And at the end of the day, a general consensus or general opinion is, you seem very obsessed with Elphaba when or Orion are. I'm not entirely sure how they wish to be addressed in that respect, but it's just like you have an awful obsession, because it's like day after day after day after day, Definitely sounds obsessive to me. Well, yes, that was also someone else. Yeah, I didn't want to sort of start mentioning particular names, but yes, of course. She went at Zach, having a go at him for having a digital footprint, and it's like, yeah, you have one too. Like, other people might be, how do we say, might have a more dirtier digital footprint, but you have one for being an older lady sat there on live talking about Elphaba pretty much day in, day out. So, okay. It's just me popping in. Honestly. Less of the old. Well, unless you're Jojo, Jane, I suggest you back off, because I weren't calling you old. Made fun of my voice, mocking me, and I'm getting a palate repair. What do you mean, Carol? But discredited my DV without ever having a conversation. Wow. Jesus Christ. Well, now my eyes are wide open. Bloody Nora. Oh, you're a year older. Okay. Well, yeah, but, we like you, Jane, so. Hello, Clarabelle. Yes, we got it back last night. Yeah, we did. I never even brought my DV to TikTok. Wow. Bloody Nora. That's actually quite shocking. Thank you, Vicky. See, this is why, like, when Andy says that she is not a solo operation, okay? She is not a solo operation. Like, I know of two of them. Once again, that's definitely not my place to say. But, yeah. She definitely does not run solo. Because how does one person have all that time to do that? Well, that remains to be seen, right? Thank you, everyone. I appreciate you all. Does she declare the Misfits pot if she's on benefits? I'm not entirely sure, Hayley. But, I don't know as much information, of course, as like Andy's looked into and stuff like that. This is the thing, right? I think it's a great idea, but I also think that you could do it in a different manner, because then also it's hard, because then, like, I think that rather than helping individuals specifically, I think it should be like monthly donated to a specific charity, because then she wouldn't need to declare it, would she? Because it's a charitable donation. She's raising money for charitable donation. I don't know the ins and outs of her finances, nor is it really anyone's business to, dig into people's financial information and whatnot. At the end of the day, if she says that she gives the money on good pretense, then we must assume she has, unless it's proven otherwise. That's true. What's this? Oh, Pamsky. Awareness versus obsession. Where is the line? Where is the line indeed? Because it definitely comes more across as, when like someone sits there and, oh, I love this band. And then it's every day or every day they see you. Oh, I love this band. Have you heard this song? Oh, have you heard this song from this band? It's a bit obsessive, You're not just trying to sort of, share some music and hopefully get someone involved or whatever. Like, you're obsessing over it. Just kind of sort of twist it a little bit and put it into Jojo sitting down talking about Elphaba on the regular. Bit weird. But I guess we all have our kinks, right? Do you know what I mean? Tap the screen, please. What's going on? What's she done? I don't really watch it. Neither do I. I couldn't give two shits, to be honest with you. The thing is, right, it's giving baby reindeer. I would say more Kathy Bates. Kathy Bates meets Mrs. Trunchbull from Matilda. Wowzers, Hayley, that's terrible. You know, I'm honestly, it's Kathy Trunchbull, yeah. Like, legitimately, everyone, do not share personal information that you like with knobheads on the internet. I'm sorry, but you just can't. Like, and the only reason why I say that is because even if you think you can trust that person, they will take that information. And this is the thing, right? There is always the few that spoils it for the many, right? But if you tell somebody that, oh, you've gone through a particular kind of trauma and whatnot, and they're coming live on TikTok and they sort of cover certain things and whatnot, it can be used against you. You just don't know when, you know? It might never happen, but it's a ticking time bomb that I don't think that anyone should be putting themselves in that position. Florence! Malcolm! Thank you, Florence, for the Malcolm. And I know it says Henry, but we have a thing where we renamed the polar bear Malcolm. So thank you very much, Florence. That's very sweet of you. Thank you so much. Most people... We love Malcolm, yes we do. I'm so glad that we just have a little thing with Malcolm. Don't trust the living. No, exactly. Don't. Honestly, just don't. Like, just because you think that you can trust someone doesn't mean that you can. And especially if they are somebody that comes on the internet and talks about other people on the internet, there is a good chance that they may use your situation to get a point across, or to point score, or to do something underhanded or seedy, you know? I'm just saying, there are people that will do that. And the fact that there is one person that could do that, you know, then you just can't. No, Carol, but no, like, please don't think that I'm obviously, like, you know, aiming anything at you or anything like that, you know. At the end of the day, but this is the thing, this is how scammers work, right? They can convince you really strongly that, you know, that they're your friend. They're here to sort of, you know, to get you, you know, to get you something good. And then that's it. Then your bank account's drained, you know. That's how they do it. So, like, they be your friend to get what they want, and then throw you aside and cast you out because you're now of no use because they've got everything that they want. I know, Carol, but just remember, right? Don't live your life with regret. Live your life moving forward to, you know, to the next day, you know. How can you make tomorrow better than the last one? Yeah, we all make mistakes, whether they're big or whether they're small, but, you know, don't let it haunt you, you know. Just let it be one of those life events that you can help maybe someone else not go through and protect yourself in future, you know. It's don't be bitter, be better. Yeah, it's that kind of phrase, you know. Like, at the end of the day, like, there are always going to be some sort of knob-rot out there that is going to do whatever they can to ruin your day, and they're the arseholes. Remember that. You're not an arsehole for sharing any information with them. They're the arsehole for using it against you. I know. I can understand that. I do. I can understand that. Fuck off, you. Yeah. Well, exactly. Yeah. Oh, can you not, sir? Bastard. So yeah, it's a doozy, but you know, we can't. And maybe, just maybe, there's going to be a time where maybe somebody that raises awareness on someone takes a look back and realizes, oh shit, did I go too far? Did I make mistakes along the way? How can I not do that again? You know? Only time will tell. At the end of the day, right, yeah, we as humans have this great ability to either thrive or perish really easily. You know, so if the person doesn't want to like level up in what they're doing and make things better, then they're only going to perish, because there's only so long that people will put up with the bullshit, because the bullshit, like, you know, from when it first started, it wasn't bullshit, right? And then it carries on and on and on and on, and then it's just like, oh, this again. And like there's no originality behind what you're trying to do, you know? And also, quite frankly, I'd say I don't do awareness. I don't do that sort of shit. It's not my scene. But I'm still allowed an opinion on how somebody else conducts themselves. And quite frankly, they have the right to have an opinion on how I conduct myself. The difference is that I don't give a fuck. You know? That's the difference. You know? But what can you do? What can you do? Hello, loads of money. Thank you, mate. Thank you, Bristocat. Thank you, Luna. Hello. So yeah. So obviously, if any of you lot, hello, Shell. If any of you lot want to maybe, like, if you have some stories that you want to share, like, you know, or if you've been particularly affected, or you want to just give your say, we can, I'm sure we could probably do that as well, if people feel like they want to jump up or whatever. And that was kind of the whole point of this as well, because like Andy didn't necessarily want to do it on his, but allow me to do it, so you guys could jump in boxes and sort of share your experiences, like, you know, in relation to obviously the topic at hand of obviously what Jojo's actually doing, you know, because, and this is the thing, right, you might have a difference of opinion, you might agree with what she's doing, and that's totally cool, you know, because once again, the same thing here. Are you sitting in your wardrobe? No, my clothes are just hung up because they're drying above my heater. And this is my sofa, and I'm sat in the corner. Thank you very much. Thank you, Ember. So yeah, so if anyone did want to, it's actually quite disturbing. What, me sitting in my sofa? How dare you? What the fuck? Hello, Kate. Kate, I did get your message. I'll sort it out ASAP. Do not stress, I will sort it out for you. What's with the hair tea indoors? What? I put myself in the corner today, yeah. Hello, Bevy. Sorry. I meant Jojo is disturbing. Oh, right. Oh, bloody hell. Right, hold on. So if I do that... I think she means the hat. Well, yeah, but I just feel comfortable wearing a hat. You know, this is obviously just my winter hat. And then in the summer, I wear a bandana because it's too hot. And then sort of in the eventually springtime, I'll start wearing my cap. And yeah, I alternate between 3 headwears throughout the year. Woolly hat, baseball hat, bandana. Yeah. Yeah. Basically. Here we go. Yeah. Yes, this is my comfort blanket. I just don't think, and this is the thing, right? I'm not saying, and I know Andy was not saying that she shouldn't be doing awareness, but it's that argument of, well, when does the awareness become bullying? When does it become very obsessive, you know? Because it's just like, well, what is your end goal? What is the end goal? What, you want to, like, put Elphaba on the street? You want them to struggle? Like, to be honest with you, right, I want people to thrive. I want people to take accountability and you know, try and live the best life that they can and whatnot. But it's just like, yeah, it's at this point in time, it's just like, well, maybe find someone else to talk about. Because I'm just saying, if you're going to sit there day in, day out and talk to people about what you've done today in relation to affect Elphaba on a personal level, whatever the fuck that is, you know, because you've already tried to get them in financial help, financial struggle, sorry. No, was it? No, wait, hold on. With the whole reporting Elphaba, Oriona, I don't know, like with the whole, like with the name thing, you know? And it's just like, fucking how sad are you? What was that? Sorry, I did see a comment. Hold on. What you all did with Annette? Suzanne, you understand that I did a weekly show, 1 day a week, called Tuna Tuesday. You know that, right? 1 day a week. I also did lives Tatty Tara Thursday, because Tatty Tara is a wrong'un and she was worth highlighting in a respect, and we had sort of fun with that. We also did, actually, surprisingly, we did Wicked Wednesday, where we used to like watch stuff of Elphaba and whatnot. It weren't that, but nothing was that deep, you know? So the difference between me and Jojo is that I don't sit on live day in, day out talking about that person. I did it once a week. And also, this is probably the first time that I've ever sort of really brought it up, like, you know, so openly in many, many months. So, what is it? Are we saying that Jojo's only going to stop talking about Oriona when they're dead? What is that? Is that what we're saying? Fuck it. Come on. Bloody hell, honestly. I'm just going to hide for a second. Jojo, Mojo Jojo, blocked you for asking if she declares. See, there you go. So I think that in itself is an interesting point when, neither did I, actually. It's interesting because it's just like, though I understand, right? See, this is the thing. I don't mind someone mentioning things from my past. Why? Because, well, it's a fact. I did used to, you know, do a show about somebody, like, you know, but we all move on and that's that. But the one thing I've never done, and what my mods know, is that we don't block people without, you know, logical rhyme and reason, pretty much, basically, like, you know, unless I say so. We just mute people, but otherwise, only if they're being derogatory and stuff like that. Hello, Camel Toe Disco. But you got blocked for asking a very logical question, a very simple question that maybe she should answer. You know? Because to me, it sounds like, well, if she can't answer a simple question like that, don't you think there's something to hide? Is that, you know, am I speaking out of turn when I say that? Thank you, Lou. Thank you, everyone. You know?
That voice for people, and hopefully he can keep doing that and putting it across so people don't feel like they're on their own.
Well, I just want to say thank you on behalf of me and especially my friends to you and him and Pockerz for this opportunity.
No, you're welcome, and it will continue to go. It really will. One thing that Andy is he's incredibly stubborn when it comes to things, that he will not give in until he sees it all the way through. So the message has been put out and they've got till Monday. If not, it will. I can guarantee you go to the next step on Monday, and that will continue to happen.
Thank you very much. I'm gonna drop down now because
Thank you, Eyes Wide Open.
Thank you, everyone.
No, you did absolutely amazingly.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely amazingly, like, you know, because that's the thing, and I appreciate that people that don't go live and stuff like that, even if there's just 5 people in a room or whatever, there's still like an intimidation of it, you know. So, like, honestly, Eyes Wide Open, you did absolutely brilliantly there. You held your composure fantastically. Yes, you did. Hello, Briggy.
Hello, are you okay?
I'm all right. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Good. Can I just get an official disclaimer from you? I'm saying it right. Everyone's saying it wrong.
Say it again.
Briggy.
Yeah, that's fine, Briggy. That's fine.
Yeah, but I hear other people say Bridgie, and it's like, but there's no D or anything like that. And...
I know. It doesn't bother me. I'm not bothered, honestly.
Yeah, but I need to know that I'm right. So could you just
you're right.
Tell him he's right.
Oh, thank you.
You're right.
Cool. Ace. Cheers, girl.
I think.
Go on, Briggy.
Yeah, she needs to clarify where she's got this information from, because she's either lied or she has got it in an unofficial way. Either someone's told her or someone's mentioned it, because not just with Elphaba's issue, but with Angie as well. She also disclosed information on that as well. Because if she's told it, she shouldn't be told any information whatsoever. So she shouldn't be relaying that anyway, because she makes it sound like she's spoken to people.
Yeah.
So either way, she's got to come out and confirm what she's saying.
Well, yeah, I mean, because I find it also just slightly odd that it's just like that someone thinks that I'm going to sit here and watch someone on the internet and then I'm going to call social services on them because of whatever between them, like, you know, like, i.e., for instance, say Angie and her mum. It's just like, have you not got anything better to do with your time? You know, like, I don't think like there is any genuine need to waste people's time that could actually be going towards, I don't know, actually trying to help protect, you know, children and all that jazz. Like, fucking hell, like, yeah, Angie has admitted that she does things with her mum and her mum's in on it on certain respects or whatever. It's just like, fucking hell.
Definitely. But
wild, right?
The thing is, though, she actually made a whole segment on it. And she did disclose information. So either she's lying about this information or she has been told this information. And either way, if she has been told that information, she needs to tell people where she's got it from, because that's actually breaking GDPR. And a lot of these awareness people don't understand this. And there's another creator that's done it recently as well. And I've not mentioned his name, but he knows that what he's done, but he's actually broken GDPR as well, because you can't go into a bank and say, has John Smith got an account here? They can't give you that information. Because you can't walk into a doctor's and go, does John Smith come here? You can't go into any organisation, any financial body, any doctors, hospitals, anything like that. You can't phone up and ask if a person goes there, has attended there, has donated there, anything like that whatsoever. And it's actually illegal. And there's even if they've, to the fact where even if they've confirmed, say for example they've got a bank account here, if somebody's confirmed that, then they're breaking that GDPR, which is data protection, and it's illegal and they need to be investigated. And and it is quite serious. And it is actually quite serious, because you don't, and that's the problem with these so-called exposure teams. They don't understand that. And obviously Jojo doesn't understand that, because she's saying she's spoken to so-and-so and she's found this out. You can't do that. You may be looking like a great hero, but at what point then you're either lying to people, causing trouble for companies, or breaking the law, do you know?
the point
Yeah.
that we've put out and that we need cleared up. We either need Jojo to come out and say, oh, I've lied, and no, I don't have this information, or no, I haven't been given this information, or yes, I have. And then at that stage, it then goes on to the next bit for us. We have been told what we need to do following on from there. And unfortunately for Jojo, there are recordings of her saying it numerous times in numerous places that have been submitted. So there now needs to be a clarity, because you're right, it's not a council issue now. It has gone bigger than that, because it's actually a criminal offence.
Yeah, because it needs to be reported to, there's a certain, I can't remember to hand, and there's a company that needs to go to, because they need to do, it's like an independent investigation.
That's right.
So it is, believe it or not, it is quite serious. Someone might just tell you something and they are breaking the law. That's what those laws are in place for. And the people that are phoning vets and that, not only are they putting that animal at risk, because that animal they may not want to treat that animal because it's bringing too much hassle to the practice, and they have every right to refuse that animal treatment. Mm-hmm. So at the end of the day, they're causing more trouble than what it's worth. Yeah. And at this point, there's loads of people that aren't fans of Elphaba, and that's everyone's choice, and some of the things that she does isn't acceptable. But when you're goading someone and constantly at them, it's just not acceptable. It's harassment, whether you like her or not, or whether you really dislike her. Not only have you got Jojo phoning people, you've got her team phoning people or searching for information, and it's just too much. That's what we have organisations for, like the police. If they've done something wrong, go to the police. Don't sit on TikTok with your gifts on. Well, even with your gifts off, actually sitting there and doing exposures over and over again on the same person, because it is bullying.
Yeah. I think that was part of the point that I had as well, is that there is a fine line between when awareness flips over into bullying. And for me, what the easy example we can use, taking it away just now, is using the cat. Phoning the RSPCA if you have a genuine concern about that animal, 100% the right thing to do. If you genuinely believe that animal is at risk. But where I feel that it stepped over and crossed into more of a harassment, bullying side, is then contacting the vet and checking, did that person make an appointment? Did they turn up for the appointment? To then contact again and say, what was the outcome of the appointment? To me, that's when it then flips over into more harassment, bullying side of things, as opposed to your initial thing by phoning the RSPCA could have been the right move. To be honest, I don't know what the cat was in, so I'm not sure, but that's the right step. And now to take a step back and leave the right people to then investigate and look into it.
And somebody put in the comments, it's stalking. It is stalking, because I heard her saying, oh, right, really, the way that she says it, really sinister, like, oh, you were wearing this on that day here, weren't you? Yeah, you were doing this on this day. And it's sinister. And up close to the camera, how she does it. And she's talking to, like telling people, she was doing,
popping in.
Yeah, and it's weird and it's obsessive and it's just unacceptable. Yeah. It's just not right. And at the end of the day, you may not like Elphaba, but what you're doing is wrong. And there's and now people are calling it out because it is wrong and they don't like it. Well, would you like it if we started looking at what you were doing and what you were doing yesterday? And, oh, you were out shopping, weren't you? Oh, you were wearing this, weren't you? Oh, you shouldn't have been doing that, should you?
Oh, you bought yourself a little cheeky bar of chocolate there, you saucy minx. You know what I mean? Yeah, fucking weird.
And we're not the police. We're not the police on TikTok. We aren't the police.
No.
You can make people aware and do like a post or something, but holding whole hate lives on people is just not acceptable at all. Whether it be Elphaba or who out, And recently, she just feels like she won't take anything on board. You can go to someone and say, I might go up to Pockerz and say, oh, Pockerz, I don't like how you did this. And you can just take that on board and be like, oh, okay, I'll think about it. But she's not like that. She's actually rude to people. And it's like she thinks that she's the TikTok police, and it's just not right.
Yeah, and again, can we say, I don't condone, or either does Andy, a lot of Elphaba's behaviour.
Oh yeah, I don't either. No, I'm not.
This is not like, oh, Elphaba hasn't done anything wrong and she's always on the right. Not at all. It's kind of the way that when we were talking about it before we came live, it's almost like we have to remove Elphaba from the equation and just look at the behaviours, the people that are getting contacted, and take that step. Because if you put in your dislike for the person, it muddies the waters a little bit. And
well, no, of course,
if it was something you liked. Sorry.
Like even like with eyes. Is it Eyes Wide Open? I forgot her name now. Yeah, Eyes Wide Open. Yeah. You know, it's like to hear the, you know, the Jojo and obviously close cronies and whatnot, like were so disparaging towards genuine, you know, sufferers and whatnot, and what, like, you know, and all that malarkey. It's just kind of like, well, yeah, if you take Elphaba out of the situation and you just look at the trait of behavior, and it's just like, that's some messed up shit, right? And like they say, but then to sit there and say that she has a safe, but that you know, her room is safe, and that she's there to protect those that, you know, that can't protect themselves. And it's just like, but if people have gone through the opposite of what you're saying that you do, it's just like, I mean, do you know what? It's the whole thing of, if someone has to profess that they're a good person, are they really a good person? Because they have to keep professing it, right? So where Jojo has to keep professing that, you know, I stand up for those that need protecting and this and that, it's just like, well, is she just saying it because she knows actually there's behaviours that go on behind the scenes and whatnot, and even probably on the, you know, in living, you know, broad daylight, that actually contradicts that phrase, you know?
Yeah. And just the behaviour in a whole, like, it seems like her behaviour's got a bit more, like, it's like, I'm not sure what the word is, but kind of like stubborn. She's not willing to take anything on board since she's had a backing from bigger creators. And it's kind of, 2 seconds.
Can I just say, there was somebody who joined the box and then has dropped. And I know that she is very, very nervous about coming in and commenting, but do you want to come up and chat while I'm here, and I can help you out if you need it, now that you're, because you did join and then drop down. See if she comments.
Look, the thing is with the cats, we can't do anything about that. If the cats are being fed, watered and looked after, and now she's been told she's only allowed one cat, well, yes, she should have checked that with her landlord beforehand, but if she rehomes the cat properly, then what more can we do?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I saw someone mention it in the comments. I'm not having a go. I'm just saying, yeah, you know, it's irresponsible. But then what more can you do? The cats are being fed, they've been looked after, they're going to the vets. What more can people do?
She's giving it to a TikTok friend. I mean, I don't know why these...
Well, how do you know?
Like this...
How do you know this TikTok friend isn't responsible?
Hi, Hayley.
I don't know why people just, like, this is an app, and I don't know why people are justifying, like, I don't like Elphaba, I don't like the stuff that she does, but I don't know why, one, she's justifying herself and telling everyone her business anyway, which doesn't help. But people are now moaning about the second cat. Well, what is she meant to do? Like, she's not allowed it. Yes, she should have checked beforehand, but do you want references before she rehomes it somewhere? Do you want her to hand it into the RSPCA? You know, like, at the end of the day, as long as it's done properly, then what more can you ask for? And you're saying, no, it's not, but what more can you do? I'm not trying to be a cow, but I'm just saying, it's like, what do you want from this person? And the thing is, though, people are coming in packs, and this is the thing that I don't like. It's not one-on-one. It's like thousands of people. You know, if you don't like her, just don't watch her.
The thing that annoyed me with the cat was she's had Diva for 7 or 8 weeks. She had the kitten for a week, and then she's saying, oh, well, I'm going to keep the kitten because it's easier. Well, why not rehome the kitten? 1, because the kitten will be easier to rehouse.
Yeah.
2, she can put a hell of a lot of work. If she's going to be responsible and be a responsible pet owner, she can put the work into helping Diva overcome whatever issues Diva has, and that shows maturity. But
Of
this
course,
whole,
yeah.
oh, well, I want to get rid of Diva because she's difficult. No, I'm sorry, that's not being a responsible pet owner at all. And then to go, oh, Diva needs to go, so message me and you can have her now. Again, it shows no responsibility for being a pet owner.
No, it doesn't. But then what can we, what
I
what
can't
can we
talk
do?
about pets because I don't have any.
See,
thing.
I've got 2 dogs, and I would, if for whatever reason I had to rehome one of my dogs, I would be doing everything I can to make sure that they're going to a reputable home. I'd be doing checks on the house. I'd be asking for references to make sure that they're decent owners. You know, I'd be doing my due diligence to make sure that they're going to be cared for. I couldn't give one of my pets away. And then to go, oh, in the past they've gone, oh, Diva's an emotional support animal, but suddenly they're not. It doesn't sit right with me.
No, it doesn't.
That's actually a fair shout.
Yeah, I do understand that. But the problem is, we don't own those cats. And you might say they're not good owners. Like, there's a lot of things that I see. I've got 3 dogs, and like, there's a lot of things that I'm really passionate about them, and I see other owners doing that I would never do. But we can't do anything about it. Do you know what I mean?
I see where you're coming from, but
Yeah.
I think they came off live because they didn't like the comments they were getting, but people were actually saying, well, actually, if you did the right thing here, people perhaps wouldn't be so aggressive with you. But then they don't take accountability. They're like, oh, well, what am I meant to do? Well, do the right thing. Let the kitten go because you've only had the kitten a week. Take responsibility for the care that Diva needs, because Diva, you know, like, oh, well, I haven't taken Diva to the vet because she doesn't like the cat carrier. Well, do work to retrain her to the cat carrier then. Take her to the vet, get a spade, stop, you know, treating her as a plaything and treat her like the animal that she is. That's what grates on me, is that when people are trying to give them advice, they take it as, oh, you're being transphobic. No, we're just trying to hold you accountable.
Talk about the cat, yeah.
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 But
then can we not let then, like, if we then sort of go back to obviously how like Jojo's been doing stuff, it's just like it could you know, not to try and justify the actions, but you know, but when obviously someone goes at you for like, you know, day in, day out and whatnot, obviously, of course, I guess there's always going to naturally be like a defense, like, you know, that's, you know, I'm not saying that it's right, but you know.
I do get, the thing is, I kind of support what Jojo's doing, because they're not doing it from a malicious, oh, well, they're doing all, because like some of the things I've said, you can let it go. And I've always said, look at it from a factual point of view. So when people start going, oh, well, they've said this and that makes me feel bad. No, don't look at that. Look at what you see is problematic behaviour and report on that behaviour itself, because that's where you can maybe make a difference. So that's where I think that Jojo is onto something. So like with that vulnerable being in that housing, by giving out that code, Elphaba is putting other people in a vulnerable position. That is where I agree that actually something should be said.
You do know that the whole housing unit isn't for vulnerable people, though?
Say that again, sorry.
You do. Are you aware that the whole of that housing unit that Elphaba's in isn't for vulnerable people?
Oh, yeah, I know, but there'd be like an entrance for vulnerable people. So to give out the code...
No, there isn't a separate entrance. It's a block of flats that some of the flats the council have rented out, but it's privately owned, so it's mixed tenancies that are in it. So it's not a refuge or anything like that.
But if there's from what I understand, there's a clause about not giving out the code.
Well, absolutely. There could well be a clause of not giving out the code, and nobody's saying that's right behaviour to do so. But what we're just highlighting is it's not like Elphaba is in a women's refuge, which is only for vulnerable people. Which I think has been put across quite strongly, that she's in with DV survivors, which could quite possibly be, but it is not a building just for that. There are mainstream tenants also in that property.
And obviously, if there was anybody in that property that was giving out the code, whether they be private or whatever, they should still be held to the same accountability as Elphaba.
Absolutely.
But what Jojo's trying to do is basically say, well, actually, this behaviour is not okay. And they seem to be sort of skirting around that and being like, oh, well, I can do it. It's like, I've seen those clips where they've turned around, especially, I think it was, excuse me, I'm going to burp, sorry. I've seen sorry. I've seen the clip at I think it was New Year's, where that whole argument kicked off.
Yeah.
And Elphaba went, oh, well, this is why I need the video evidence because of the way Maria is. But then has turned around and gone, oh, well, I love my mum and she's not the reason I'm in here. We'll make your damn mind up. You know?
Yeah, again, you have to then think, from our past history, is Elphaba a good author? No, she's not, because we know she has previously lied. So, again, we cannot say what was put on her housing application as fact, because we know she lies and we know that she's not a good author.
But then she's taking from the people that need it.
Well, we don't know that. That's a generalised statement.
It is generalised, but if she's in a place where they put vulnerable people, and vulnerable is very wide term.
It's not, and that's what I've said. That building is not for just vulnerable
I'm not saying the building, but any of the flats. So if there's flats there that house vulnerable people, that flat that they're in is for a vulnerable person.
That's not. How do you know she put that on her application?
That's not the argument, though. That's not even what Jojo's saying. We just again, I'm not an Elphaba supporter here. I'm not coming in to just defend. I'm looking beyond the person, and talking just from a factual point of view of somebody who has worked in the industry of what we would look at.
I mean,
the problem is, right, we don't know, and then again, it's going in too deep. Yes, she's got a council flat. She may have lied to get it. I know loads of people that have lied to get council properties because they've had to, or embellish the truth, okay? Yeah, It might be out of order that she's done it, but at the end of the day, we don't know what she's put on that form. Yeah, she might, and the problem is with the app that people do rage bait others, and the thing is, it's like, we need to stop, even if we don't like her, it's difficult when you don't like someone, you sort of focus on them a bit more, and that's the problem with Elphaba. People do focus on her a lot, and she's done this, she's done that, and
I think the one thing though that really, apart from the animals, that really aggravates me is I'm late diagnosed autistic, and this whole I am autistic, I'm neurodivergent. No,
I know, it's frustrating.
And then saying things like, oh, I'm overstimulated. No, you're getting annoyed with the chat. Stop using it as an excuse.
Yeah.
You know, and then calling out other creators for bad behaviour, but then not taking full accountability for SH baiting.
Yeah.
And causing other people harm.
I do want to hear from SPG in a minute.
I'll go in 2 seconds.
Yes, all right.
My big thing, if Elphaba fully took accountability and went, do you know what? Yeah, I have done crap and I am going to try and do better and I will hold myself accountable, I'd turn around and go, good on you. Well done. And if they turned around and said something and went, oh, God, I shouldn't have done that, I'm so sorry, I'd feel better. But it's the fact that they don't do that that winds me up.
I know, it's frustrating. But that's the problem. It's like, maybe I can say it because I don't focus on her that much, to be honest. And I kind of look from the outside, and it is frustrating what she does. But the thing is now, with everybody like having opinions and stuff, it's gone, not with yourself, but with what I think Jojo's doing. I think it's now crossed that line of just talking about it. They're now stalking, bullying and harassing her, you know, and now she's being made to look like the victim.
Yeah, and they're not.
The thing is, though, Jojo's not the police, though, is she? She's not like, you know, she's not the police and she's not any authority, and she shouldn't be contacting vets, councils, like, you know, there's just that line which, yeah, people can talk about it and debate it, but within reason, because then otherwise it leads to being something bigger and something that it's too far. And that's what Jojo's doing now, not just with her, but with other people as well. I've seen it.
But if you saw somebody doing something wrong, say in your community, like a neighbour or something, would you not then phone, like if you knew somebody was... Yeah. Isn't that just what Jojo's doing, just on a grander scale?
Hang on a minute, right? I would never phone somebody's vets. I would never phone somebody's, like, if I thought a dog was being mistreated or a cat, I would never track down the owner's vets and phone the vets. That's just, that you can phone the RSPCA and they can go and visit, and if they feel the animal's being mistreated, then it can be removed from their like ownership. But phoning someone's vets and asking questions and stuff, that's just crossing the line. If someone did that to me and phoned my vets, I'd be going mad, to be honest.
Okay, I can see your point of view.
I think maybe we should let SPG 11.
Sorry, yeah.
Yeah, I'll hop out now.
You might have a slightly different opinion if you hear about it.
Thanks, Mystic Wolf.
It's all right. If I can't leave, can you kick me? Because I don't know how to do it.
And this doesn't mean having to go at you, by the way. I have much respect for you.
Thank you.
It's hard. I've done it myself.
Thank you for coming out, girl.
Like,
there you go.
There's some creators that I can't stand, and you tend to focus on them and focus on what they're doing, and it's really frustrating. And it is annoying when you see people getting away with stuff and other people don't. But like, I just think it doesn't need one person to police. It doesn't need, if she's done something illegal, phone the police. What more can you do, you know? And another thing is, if like people are phoning the councils and stuff like that, like, realistically, do you want her to be homeless? Like, whether Maria's got somewhere to live or not, do you want her to be homeless? That's the thing. At the end of the day, like, it depends how much you really dislike this person, and if they have got it like on false principles and stuff like that, then yeah, it's out of order. But people do embellish their council application forms, and I'm telling you now, they may say they don't, but they do. I'm not saying they lie about loads of things, but they maybe embellish it a little bit more. But sorry, carry on.
No, that's all right. SPG, sorry, thank you for waiting. I appreciate it.
All right. So a bit of backstory. There was a creator a couple of months ago, some point last year, who was purportedly being gifted by a 13-year-old child hundreds of pounds in gifts. I'd made a comment, because I'm one of Joe's ex-mods. I made a comment in the group chat and said, at this point, why is there a child gifting at, I think it was like 1 o'clock in the morning, 11 o'clock at night, 1 o'clock in the morning. It was late. Why is there a child gifting hundreds of pounds? What are the parents doing? Now, one of Joe's other mods went for me. She absolutely went for me. You are blaming the parents. And at this point, it is absolutely the parents' fault, because I know what my 12-year-old child spent 1 penny on, never mind hundreds of pounds.
Yeah.
I said, we're not focusing on the fact that this might not be a child. You're all just jumping on a bandwagon. Anyway, it went wild. I left the group, and the messages of pure hatred and nastiness that I got, I was blocked by every single one of them. Actually, no, that's a lie. I was blocked by every single one of the 4 main people. plus Jojo, kicked off all the pages. I had no beef with Jojo at that time. What I do have beef with is now I'm stood outside of that, I realise that one person is actually a mouthpiece, and their hot-headedness and their constant pushing and all of that is kind of what forces Jo on. And she might say it's all her, but there's been people like Wild, William, all these little people that they've gone after. They've either let into their group or they've gone after. So Wild was highly inappropriate, and they all loved him. And I'm sat there saying there's something wrong about this, and then all of a sudden, it comes out that he's an absolute wrong un, and they back the wrong people constantly, and then they turn on people when they point it out. And I have sat with 20, 30, 40 people who have all been kicked out from that group.
Yeah.
And I can name a few. There was Mickey, there was Amber. I mean, Mickey and Amber, the messages they sent me, there's somebody has to be naming them.
You don't have to.
No, I'm quite happy because the vileness...
you might be best for your own peace not to name them just now.
No, but the vileness that came out of it was awful. But I've sat with people who've told me stories about how they've been bullied and pushed off and out of the group because the face doesn't fit. And I've seen firsthand how many people who just felt they'd found a group, but actually their face didn't fit, so they were shoved. I've had people come to me because they say that they've asked one of the mods how they're doing, and they've got done for harassing the mods. It's not an all-inclusive group. There are one or two people that spoil that group. Otherwise, it could be a really good group.
Yeah.
Good year. Yeah.
Obviously now she's been getting more because people have obviously been pushing her out there a bit more. She says, I think I heard her say that she doesn't take the gifts. What she does is she gives it back to her community.
There have been people she has helped.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, there was a girl in Australia who lost loads of her stuff in the flooding last year, like year before last, back end of last year, in Australia or New Zealand. She got stuff, but she was saving up for this big get together that they were all going to have, and we're all going to have a big meet up, and it was all going to be paid for by the creator, by the funds, and it just never appeared. And then there was a lot of things that just never appeared.
Yeah. Okay.
So she might help one or two people.
One of the other facts that we have been told as well is that when she was doing her merchandise and selling that, which is why she got her trademark, people didn't receive the items that they paid for as well. We know that happened.
And I know that happened. I don't know whether it was ever sorted, but there were a lot of people who said they didn't get it.
Oh, okay.
So when we say there's been a lot of information, there's a lot going on, and I'm going to be incredibly protective over SPG 11 Mama, because I know some of the stuff that she's gone through, and that's why I'll be very protective. I'm staying here to make sure, because I don't think it's right that you overshare too much because of all the crap you've had beforehand. Just be careful what you share publicly.
No, thank you, SPG Mama, for coming up and saying that. Because, I mean, the thing is that if you have inside information, about stuff that goes on behind the scenes, it's just, as I'm saying, it's like no one should ever be fooled by the character that appears on the screen. you know. Oh, you know, like this, like, you know, oh, an older lady, you know, that sort of has a sort of warming sort of charm about her, but then there is a sinister undertone with everything that she says, though, right? You know, and it's and with what you've also said, it kind of then backs up the sinister undertone, because she's just the mouthpiece of all these people going around and doing crazy, terrible things and saying terrible things, you know?
And I'm going to do a wee shameless plug for her here as well, that please go and watch some of her videos and understand some of the life that she's going through as well just now. And her videos are very heartfelt and very incisive, and you'll find a lot of information there. And the last thing she needed was extra rubbish coming from people on this app at all. So give her a wee follow and watch her videos.
Thank you.
SPG Mama, like, is it safe to say that like the people that obviously ended up like haranguing you kind of after the fact, like were they sort of friendly during the time, and then as soon as it was like you 100%. Spoke up, and then that was it, just turned?
Yeah. And I've actually just had somebody say to me, and I will hold my hands up here, somebody has said they did have a meet up in July last year, so that was before the fallout, and I wasn't invited. So maybe that tells me what I need to know. But like, I don't need it. My son is life limited. I have a lot on in my life. I thought I'd found somewhere. I had got friends online because I don't get to go out much anymore. I'm a qualified social worker, but I have no career because my life is looking after my son. So I genuinely had thought I'd found my people. And I'm so sad that a small minority, because a lot of them are very nice people, but a small minority are really, really toxic.
Jeez. I'm sorry that obviously that's the shit that you had to go through, kind of thing, because that's what I mean. It's just like, you know, if you believe that that a creator and a group of people are like the ones for you, and then it turns out that they're not, can be a bit of a blow, especially when you sort of, if you confide in them or you trust them that much, and then it's like, oh, turns out they're terrible people, you know?
Yeah. Especially when you're only just trying to safeguard someone. It wasn't like you were having a go or anything.
Yeah.
Oh. Sorry,
I'm really proud of Carol jumping up.
Yeah, well done, Carol.
Hello, Carol. Hi. Hello, Hungry Guy as well, by the way. Sorry.
Hello, how are you guys?
Hello.
Hey,
I am doing dandy.
Can I just say one thing, please? So I think listening to Mama talk and like listening to her story, it kind of like fits into this sort of like, it's the typical story of what happens on TikTok. You find a community and then everything's all fine and dandy, and then something happens within the community that you don't agree with, and then automatically everyone turns against you. And I think like this is what is like the standard now on TikTok, but there's always a hidden agenda between the people that start these communities, the people that, like, for example, Jojo, like, and Mama, I don't know who told you that they met up in July. I don't know for sure that whether they have or whether they haven't, but I will put money on it that they just said that just to like, that's someone in that group that just said that to you, just to like shut that point down. I will put money on it that never happened.
It is somebody that I do trust has messaged me saying they did meet up.
Well, I mean, it is what it is, but my points still stand. But I just want to say regarding Jojo, Jojo, like, for example, she says everything is not about gifts and stuff like that, but she says she does stuff for the community. Yeah, every single time you like anything talk about gift or anything, you get blocked, you get shut, you get muted. And I would love Jojo to go and put up a screenshot of where it says withdraw amount. If she's putting it back into the community, she wouldn't need to withdraw it, because if you withdraw it, TikTok are going to take their bit. Why would you withdraw it if then you're going to put it back to the community? Would you not just gift other people within your community. Now, I think she had withdrawn that money and she is doing it all for money. At first, maybe it wasn't, because I remember Jojo's first content when she first came on here. She kind of was like a female version of anti-TikToker. But then I think money got into her head and money became like the main focus when she started getting it. And when she started getting clout from like other creators, mainly EQ, and then her community built of like literally Elphaba haters, I think it just gone to her head. And I think everything that she says about Elphaba, it's all lies. I know it's lies. For example, people like establishment are not just going to give you information about their clients or their like patients or whatever, and all the stuff she's saying like to the council. They're not just going to willy-nilly give you information. It's not like that's not how it works. Okay, they're not just going to give you information. And she says stuff over and over again. She repeats herself multiple times because once you say it multiple times, it sticks. And I think the whole thing with like Elphaba living in a not homeless shelter, like a DV shelter, that's all like literally just lies. Okay, Elphaba literally got she's renting a private place. It might be a council owned, but she's a private tenant. She gets housing benefits that will cover some of her rent, and then she'll have to pay the rest. Maria being there, it's got no she can be there for as long as she wants. Okay, Elphaba pays rent to be there. She can have whoever she wants there. And I think also Maria does work in the background a lot. She does do a lot of things in the background. And I think the thing is with Elphaba, she rage baits. She rage baits to high heavens. Like, you can't be surprised about the reaction that she gets. If you rage bait people are going to be rage baited. So, like, what do you expect in return, sort of thing? And I think we have to remember with Elphaba, she's playing by the rule book of CLA. She's literally every time something dies down, the views are going low. She does something to like create drama, to create And unfortunately, because we are all engulfed in TikTok, we all buy into the drama and stuff like that. So but I think it's just all
Can I
Sorry, Laura.
interrupt you, because I know that Carol's jumped up and I know she's very anxious, and I don't want her not to feel that she can have her voice now that she's brave enough to get up.
I'm so proud of you, Carol.
That are as confident. So, can we maybe let Carol have her say while she's got the confidence to?
Thank you, Hungry.
Oh yeah. Sorry.
Cheers, mate.
Hiya, how are y'all?
Hi, Carol.
Hi. Yes, SPG Mum has been very kind and helpful. So thanks for that. I appreciate that. So basically for me, it was COVID and back in 2020, and so I was sort of in that vulnerable sort of list where I was sort of in the house before everybody else was, because my daughter has a heart condition, so this is the last thing I needed as well. So and I have mentioned it on some of my videos. Somehow I managed to come across her, and I thought, oh, this seems like a good fit. So everything was fine for a few months, and then I got given a number, and I texted this person just to check in on them and make sure that they were okay, because they had bad mental health and whatever, because that's the person I am, you know. And then the next thing, I got a message then later on that night, just basically saying that to leave so-and-so alone. And then the next thing I know, a few months ago then, she had made a video about me saying that I was harassing one of her mods. And then she had blocked me for no reason. And since then, I suppose, then, I know it's silly really, but then I've been on a down roll from that. And I overthink. And she made fun of my voice, mocked it really. and I have a syndrome called 22q11 deletion syndrome, which affects my voice, and I'm waiting for a palate repair. So that really hurt.
And I think you've got a beautiful
I'm sorry to hear that.
It's so, you've got a lovely accent and a beautiful voice, and don't let anybody ever tell you that you don't.
Thank you. And then the other night I was on in someone's live just to say hello to someone, and one of her mods was in there and she threatened me.
That's fucking wild, because it's like, right, okay, so basically Jojo is so willing to defend the mods that are basically her attack dogs.
Yeah.
Because they are her attack dogs, you know, like that's, but then she sits there and says that she wants to protect those that are vulnerable, those that need protecting, and yet she's happy to set the dogs on them. That's fucking wild to me.
But that keeps her hands clean, so to speak.
She doesn't have clean hands. But again, I don't want to say anything more nasty because
I'm so proud of you, Carol.
I want to wish her all the best, but that she hurt me. Do you know what I mean?
But you know,
and part of somebody there, Carol saying, even though I have been hurt, I want to wish her all the best. Like, you have no idea. These are genuine people who have been so hurt by a community who work together. And really, like, you've heard it from two ladies here. They just wanted a community to fit in because they have stuff going on in their lives that they were wanting to be able to talk to other people about. And yet they turn that and they use it against them. I cannot work it out in my head how this has been allowed to happen or how it can even be remotely okay.
And thank you everyone for the gifts.
No, it just like, and I think it just really highlights the fact that this is a woman that proclaimed that, you know, that her room is a safe space, that, you know, she's there to defend those that are vulnerable and whatnot, yet she just, you know, sticks the dogs on them and then that's it, you know, and thinks that that's okay. It's fucking that's what I'm just struggling to comprehend, because you think how many people support Jojo that gift her and whatnot on the pretense that she's there to support and to protect people, when actually all she's doing is taking money off people and attacking those that are vulnerable. It's fucking wild.
Mama and Carol, can I ask you a question, please? Were you guys gifters as well to her?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought so.
Not very much, though, but just, you know.
No, but you're still a gifter. It's on, yeah.
Yeah.
That's fucking wild. Like, you know what the thing is, though? It's just like, it's one of these situations where, you know, you coming up to talk about it is like, you know, you're really brave to do so, especially because of obviously what's happened previously. And I guess from me to you two especially is knowing that, well, like, listen, you know, we're all here supporting you and giving you the support, because it does take a lot to come up and say you know, what happened to you, you know.
And I think for me, it's more about the justice of it, because it's not just me. I was at a point at that time. I was at a point in my life where I was already having a nervous breakdown due to my son's illness.
Yeah,
and I was at my lowest ebb, and that very nearly was the end of me. And I will not stand for that for anybody else.
Me too. Yeah.
And that's my driving force for being up here tonight, because I cannot tell you how sad it makes me to know that there are other people that are going through the same thing.
Yeah. That's fucking wild.
Yeah, I'm going to jump down now because I'm going to let the dogs out.
Thank you, SPJ. I appreciate you coming out. I really do.
And thank you, Laura. You're sweet.
Thanks, Laura.
Thank you.
I'll just say that my inbox is always open, the same as Andy, the anti-TikTokers, for anybody who feels that they
Thank you, Carol.
chat or anything like that. So please, our inboxes are open as well. But well done to everybody that spoke tonight, and I'm going to jump down.
Thank you, Laura. Well, fucking hell. That, like, you know, it's just it does make you wonder, though, doesn't it? Because it's just like how how I don't think you really can take someone's word for it when you then find out what goes on in the backgrounds. Because that's what I'm saying. I feel like when someone protests too much, that, you know, that, oh, this is a safe space. Oh, you know, like I'll protect those that are vulnerable, this and that. She keeps saying it. And now it's coming out more apparent that, well, but behind the scenes, you don't give two fucks. You're happy to come live and say those words, but actually you don't stand by them. So,
it's kind of very Mean Girl, isn't it? Mean Girl vibes as well.
She probably, do you know what it is? I would say that, but I can imagine that she might not have been a popular kid in school if she's going to act like this as an adult, but there you go.
Oh, yeah. She wasn't. She got a bit of clout and then she ran with it, and now she's getting the whole like cloud fever of like but like bullying people and like bringing it's hard to explain, but it's like the psychology of it. It's like she's almost taking pleasure in what she's doing, like it gives her like pleasure almost. So
gives her a buzz. There's like a buzz going on for it.
It gives her like a high or something. But I mean, it's like, I think it just like, I wish everyone on TikTok can be like me. Just go everywhere. Just be everywhere on the app. They don't stick to like one community and put everything into one community. Like, just go everywhere. There's so many different things like on this app. It's so big. Like, just be everywhere.
Drama Talk is a very small chunk of it, you know, like, and what she admitted herself, she took pleasure from tormenting E. Well, I obviously I haven't seen that, so I can't confirm nor deny.
I think we can all see that, to be honest.
Oh no, we can. Yeah. I do agree with you there.
But anyway, Pockerz, thank you for letting me up. I'll go on the
no
top
worries,
now.
Hungry Guy.
All right, take care. Bye bye.
Take care. Thank you. Bye. Well, Briggy, any final statements?
Just one more. That I wanted to say. It was about her. I just think two more things. Sorry. One thing is about the awareness the other night that she did about Zach. Yes, I'm a Zach supporter, but I support a lot of people. Like, I like you, I like Zach, I like Angie. Do you know, like, and it's kind of like, I think that awareness has already been done. It has been done several times, and
it's regurgitated shite.
Yeah.
And then it's at that point as well where it's just like, right, well, how many times does like say like 5 people have to say the same thing before it gets boring? Well,
exactly.
I personally find after the first 2 people, because you never know, but like,
apparently, as Jojo was saying, it was a police case. There was a police case, so she shouldn't have been bringing it to the app anyway. But obviously, with Jojo, with the law that she goes by, it seems that she doesn't care what she says about. Well, I'm just obviously, if one person's given her the permission to talk about it, fine. But still, it shouldn't really be discussed on an app.
Don't it's that whole thing, don't say there's a police case and then carry on talking about it. I mean, like that's on her head. If she wants to, poo-poo the police investigation or whatever, then let her do it, because like she's only gonna, ruin it for someone else, right?
And not only that, there's also the fact that when you look at exposures like that, there's 3 sides to the story. Do you know what I mean? There's the people involved, like the 2 people involved, or however many there were, and then there's the truth. Do you know what I mean? So it's kind of like, looking at it from the outside, it's kind of like you only got one side of that story, and it's kind of, you didn't think about going to the other person to speak about it, but you just willing to go off whatever clipped videos there are out there and those persons' opinions or facts, is like what she likes to say there is. But it's still not very professional when it's also the fact is the money has been paid back, and there's no need to do what, because they had a disagreement, 2 people didn't get on. Why are you then making an awareness about that? Like, what is the point of it?
You know what? It's like it's like that whole situation of TikTok detectives, and I think some people just have nothing else going on in their life, so they have to be so invested in everyone else's. Now, I also agree that I don't necessarily think everyone should be putting everything that they, personal and whatnot on TikTok, because then you get into situations where, obviously, of course, like that, and I know there's this whole mentality. Well, if it's put on the app, then it can be spoke about, and I have to kind of agree. But what I don't agree with is like when information is brought to the app that was never put on the app in the first place. That's not cool. And as I say, I do believe that some people are just too invested in other people, when I think maybe we should just focus a little bit more on ourselves and try and have a little bit more fun. Because, trying to dissect someone's life and trying to interject yourself into their life by calling up vets and calling up the council and calling this and doing that, and
trying to dig for more information that's got absolutely nothing to do with you. And the fact that she was so sinister about it and nasty, like, she may think that she is there to make awareness, but again, it's an app. You're not the police. There's no need to be digging into people's personal lives like that. Whether someone's had a disagreement or not with them, at the end of the day, it's just not acceptable. And that's the last point that I'm going to make, is that these awareness communities, like they like to call themselves, it is only selected few people. There's so many other people on this app then my dogs are playing. There's so many more people on this app that need awareness being called out. And
I appreciate that. Yeah.
Hold on.
Sorry, I like just sort of kind of further that point. I believe that maybe. I believe that maybe Jojo has kind of caught herself up in something with Elphaba, and maybe obviously maybe there's external forces that are encouraging her to carry on. No, you're doing good. Oh yeah, talk about that, or I don't believe that that Jojo is obviously, as we've learned already, that she isn't working alone. And yeah, I think she's now caught up in the Elphaba train, and she doesn't know how to get off. Because I believe, because if she got off and then started talking about other people, because as I say, how much awareness can be raised about one person that we don't already know about? As you say, there's other people on this app that
come out and say, "Oh, you're miraculous recovered." He isn't recovered. It's not miraculous.
Hello, Lottie.
Oh, hello.
Hello. Yeah. You're right. Oh.
Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Talking to myself. Right. Sorry, Brigitte, you're talking about Zach. There's that other wanted to say about this, right? Because the situation with Zach and him, is what went on with him at Christmas and stuff like that. For someone to come out and do what they did, regurgitate really old stuff to try and drag him down right now, because what it was, Pockerz, you said it, like, there's been no fun on it. Now, Zach has got back up, and I need to say this because I understand with Zach, because I've got ADHD and autism myself. I know that he was in a burnout. So for him to go and take the help and do what he's done, and then continue to just keep getting up day by day and doing what he has to do, and then for people to keep trying to tear him down, it baffles my brain.
Yeah.
I'm just like, this is just weird, because you all bang on about men's mental health, and then obviously the miraculous recovery thing. It's not that he's recovered. He lives with this daily. It's just a case of right now he's in a much healthier mental space, and he's able to help himself a lot better. That's what it boils down to. And he's also taking drastic steps in his personal life, like with things like not drinking and not doing certain things, so that he can just stay on the right path. Yeah. It's never going to be a case of boom, it's going to go away, because he has ADHD. That's an emotional dysregulation. So you even see that in Zach sometimes. He can go up and down when he's just doing his live. Something might trigger him and he'll be like, oh, and then he'll come back around in the next 2 minutes and he'll be laughing and joking. That's his personality. Yeah. And people need to stop analysing that and telling him he has to justify himself for that. It's baffling to me.
And villainising it as well, I feel.
Yes. And can I also say, I'm not a fan of Elphaba yet. I've never been a fan of her. And in the sense of, I live in a London borough, and she's obviously come into a London borough. Now, when I tried to get on the council 11 years ago, I was refused because I needed to prove that I'd lived in the borough that I was born in for 2 years. I did that, and then they went, we changed the rules, now you've got to do 5 years. So I've never actually got on the council, and I've got disabilities and my son's got disabilities, so I pay private rent, yeah? Now, so to me, I would, if Elphaba's really dodged it, oh, that's freaky. I'm sorry, if Elphaba really dodged it, then to me, she needs reporting. But when I was watching Jojo, I was like, okay, but if you've reported it and you've got everything right, now just leave it to the authorities. She was coming on and goading, and they were saying so sinister about her this week. And I was like, why have you gone so nasty? Like I've seen Jojo for years, and all of a sudden I'm like, no, this is malicious now. You've got a very malicious intent, and it's just weird, and I don't like it. And can I also say, listening to Carol, that actually really choked me up, like listening to her. I just thought, that's not right. That's really not right. And if there's vulnerable people that have gone to Jojo and then she's done this to them, that as well baffles my brain. You're not a good person if this is what's going on behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Sorry, I've got I ramble.
Don't apologise.
I just wanted to say that because, like I say, I just found that really twisted what was going on this week, and I don't like it. And
I have to say it, but I always get called Black Stalker, but I'm not a stalker. I do like other people, just not just Zach. But it's kind of like you stick up for him and you get called a stalker, and it's kind of like, no, I know what it's like to have mental health. I've got friends that suffer really badly with mental health, and I've seen like older relatives that have had. Because people think, with mental health, you'll get some antidepressants, you'll be fine. Yeah, but it's not. You can go through your whole life, and especially with ADHD and that, you've got it for life. It doesn't just go. No. And if you've got other mental health problems as well, like it may be that you suffer with your nerves, it may be something else. You may go through life of being like, I'm not saying that, but if you get hospitalized, you can be hospitalized so many times in your lifetime if you suffer with your mental health. So when people say, made a miraculous recovery,
it was so insulting.
It really is. Yeah. And the fact that they then did that live, I just think that's absolutely disgusting. Like, there was no need for that. And the thing is, though, if she'd done her proper research, if she was a proper exposure team, she would have seen that that whole thing is from like about 3 years ago. It's been paid.
It's so old.
Exposed. Yeah, it's been exposed.
It's been regurgitated so many times. And what also upset me is Jojo said, the mum said she doesn't really want to bring it back up, but I'm going to bring it back up. And I thought, hang on. And then she also said it was because she wants the daughter to be able to speak about her cancer journey. Now, from my point of view, I had a partner that passed away at 34 from cancer. No one would ever tell this. Like, if she wants to come up and speak, she's entitled. To make it all about Zach is just weird. It's got nothing to do with Zach. Zach's over here doing his own thing. He's not going to say anything or be disrespectful if she wants to talk about what's gone on in her life. They're on two separate paths. So why is Jojo now trying to cross them back over again? It's weird.
Yeah, and not only that, if she wants to do lives about like cancer and stuff like that, she's friends with Luke the Judge. She's friends with, I know that with all that group, she's friends with Pearl. Why couldn't they give her their platform to do a live on it?
It's got absolutely nothing to do with Zach. I could have very much imagined that if this comes about, Zach is going to mind his own business because he doesn't want this kid going on and on. It's boring. As a viewer, I'm like, mate, we've heard this so many times.
Yeah. And the worst thing is when they go, he's made a miraculous recovery. Well, yeah, he has, because what other option has he got? And they didn't believe him that he was at the mental health facility. EQ was trying to say it was drug rehabilitation, but she was sticking up for him while he was in there. And that's the thing, like, she then turned on him and, she was supportive, like saying, no. And then
you know
all
what
of a
it is
sudden,
as well, Briggy, because this is a really valid point, because I was late diagnosed. Now, I've got the most amazing supporting parents in my life, yeah? People that are there to hold me up. So when I hit the deck, and like, trust me, there's been points in my life where I've literally felt like I need to get sectioned because my brain is messed up. And I've got this massive supportive unit behind me. So this is what I'm saying. For me watching it, I'm like, he's got no one, and he went and got the help, and he didn't fight it. He said, okay, I'll take the help. And he's done, and every day he gets up and he makes a decision to keep going just for him. Now, from my point of view, I've got my son, I've got my mum and dad. When I hit my deck, I'm like, Charlotte, you've got these people, let's keep going, let's keep going. He hasn't got that. So why are we tearing people down? It's baffs my brain. Yeah. And in the same sense, Elphaba, I truly believe she is autistic. I really do. Do I think she plays on it? Yeah, I do, because she's desperately trying to get her money up. I can see all of that. But she is autistic, and she's grown up with a very irrational, not emotionally stable mother. So you have to understand that them two together, it isn't healthy. So why would you begrudge? I don't particularly like it, but would I want to see Elphaba out on the street? Because what's going to happen to her? Like, she's going to end up in every sinister, bad sort of situation in life, and she will come to harm. So, like, let's be real. It's like, do you really want her out on the street? It's just silly. It's so silly.
Yeah, and not only that, like, the thing is, this is what these people want, because with Elphaba, like, you've got EQ that will sit and come to her, you've got Jojo that will sit and like, pick at everything she does and pull apart everything that she does. It's okay, come to in, right? But when you're then digging into someone, and it's kind of like the way that they're going, you know, yeah, she doesn't do right things, and it's frustrating, and there's only certain things that you can tell her, because obviously she's not going to listen. But unless she's doing actually something illegal, there's nothing you can do. And the fact is, I don't know what these people want. Like, yeah, they want her to do things that they want her to do, but do they want her homeless? Do they want her not here anymore?
Exactly. Like, and you know what? It's so easy. I've been on here for 5 years. I've seen Elphaba non-stop. I've had her blocked for 5 years. I only see her because other people talk about her or repost or constantly cam-toing her. If you don't want to watch someone, there is a block button, and I promise you, eventually, you stop seeing them. It's that simple. It really is. And it's like, I understand there has to be teams, like, you build your communities. So the way it works is, obviously, they need these people to be so strongly involved in them to gift and things like that. Like, when I come on, I literally will give my heart me, and to me it's like a tipping. I'm coming in, I enjoyed your life, I'll give my heart me. I'm not a gifter. But then this is what I'm saying, I can see the manipulation and how they grab all these people, and I just sit back and I'm just like, you're all guilty of it, yet you all slag each other off for it. Just like you're supposed to, if your community will come and watch you, that's how it is. So like what you said about Zach, if you speak up for him in any comment sections, we get called like we're under his thumb. I'm thinking, no, I just relate to some of the things he does sometimes. I can understand it, and he makes me laugh. Like, sorry.
I think the thing is as well with the drama talk circles, that it's just a part of the game that's played. You know, of course, if you're in one community and the creator doesn't like Zach, say, then of course, if you're part of the Z Hive, you're up his bum or whatever. If you know, or if you're part of the cult, you're enabling Angie. You know, like, it's just, see what I mean? It's just unfortunately with drama talk and whatnot, is that I think it's just part of the game, really. I would never say to anybody to take it personally, because quite frankly, I think it's just words of a different person on the internet having a say, and it's just like, well, it's just because, like, you know, there's always like a jealousy and, you know, that kind of shit. It's just like, I would never deep it too much. If someone came out and said that, like, oh, you know, Pockerz community is, like, you know, full of arseholes, and it's just like, well, they're not. But what, you're only saying that because they're only saying that because they don't like me, and the one way that you can get to another creator is by slagging off the community that supports them, you know?
See, with the FYP shows, I don't get it now anymore, because since this whole thing with EQ and that all last year, and it was, you know, communities against communities or whatever, before that even happened, like, the majority of the time there'd be a varied FYP. There'd be, I don't know, 5 different creators that they'd be talking about, or 6. There'd be videos, funny videos shown, and, you know, it would be uplifting and it would be fairly positive, unless some of them were holding the hate lives, you know, as they do. And now it's just clapping back at creators because they've made a throwaway comment that you don't like, and then you're screaming and shouting about that one creator for like half an hour maybe, you know. And I just think
exactly.
I think it's always good to remind ourselves that unfortunately nobody, especially people within drama talk spheres and circles, don't want their egos being bruised.
Yeah. But like, yeah, I just think that.
But also,
you know,
hold on, creepy pasta girlie, are you okay? Sorry, we're not ignoring you, I swear.
Yeah, I just think that, you know, if people didn't spend
your
so much
picture's
time...
scaring me.
Is there a
Creep?
there?
I'm gonna drop down anyway, but thank you for having me. Sorry.
No worries, Lottie. No, that's all right. Thank you. That's all right. Thank you for popping
See you
in.
soon. Bye.
Thank you. Take care. Bye bye. Creepy pasta girl, are you there?
I'm going to drop down now. Thank you for having me, and thank you for the gifts, everyone.
Thanks, Briggy. No, I appreciate you. Thank you. Right, creepy. You're scaring me, so I'm just gonna get rid of you. Oh God, bloody hell. Fucking hell, bloody scaring the living shit out of me. Boom. Well, there you go, ladies and gentle beans. Hi, Tara. Fucking wild, innit? But do you know what? Like, thank you, Alicia. Sorry about earlier. I accidentally muted Alicia in Andy's live, and I was like, no, that's not what was meant to happen. It's a fat justice. I was just like, oh no, that's it. I'm done for. My TikTok journey has come to an end. Oh dear. I did not mean it. Alicia is the queen of this app, don't you know? Yeah. Yeah, Becky with the good hair, yeah. No, I'm allowed to say her name now. Look, this is what I mean. It's just like, at the end of the day, and like, no, I'm not trying to discredit. I don't know if you can hear me properly or not. Hold on, let me move this over here. I'm not trying to discredit anyone with what they've gone through, like specifically like in relation to Jojo and her mods and stuff like that. You know, I totally get that that's a fucking really shitty thing to do when you profess that your room is, you know, for protecting the vulnerable and the weak, you know, kind of thing, and you're there to support kind of thing. It was really interesting to sort of hear that, you know, but literally, Alicia, see, look, she hits the nail with the hammer. You know, at the end of the day, I think we're all gobshites. I said it earlier, I'll say it again. Not obviously the people that are going through shit, but I mean, like, when I do my show, I'm just another gobshite on the internet just spouting a load of bollocks. Now, in fairness, I don't try to spread, you know, like hate or anything like that, or try to stir the pot or whatever. No, you're right, Annabelle. There is no safe space on TikTok. You know, it only takes one person to make what is like a safe space not safe. You also don't know who's on the internet. You know, you don't know their backgrounds. You don't know how much of a good guy they are or a bad guy they are, you know. I think it's just important to remember that your headspace is for you to protect. What was that? Yeah, exactly. Do never die on a hill for a stranger on the internet. Absolutely not. Yeah, we can all like who we like, and we can all dislike who we dislike. But I think at the end of the day, if you dislike someone that much, I think there's just you have to kind of draw a line in the sand at some point, and then get on with your day, you know. And as I say, I think, you know, maybe Jojo will hear what had happened, you know. I go where I want, nobody's telling me. Exactly. Well, like, for instance, with Alicia, she does her non-drama FYP show, and it's nice to just listen to stuff that is not drama. It's great, you know? And I mean that. Don't go to jail. No, don't rub it in. God's sake, right. You know? And I think some people have only got this app, you know? Oh, thank you. You know, it's just like some people do only have this app, and like, that's okay, but just don't let it become something toxic that you get dragged into, or, hello, Will, you're right. You know? As I say, I think as long as you protect your headspace first and foremost, don't then start trying to be a martyr to a cause, or what do you call it? A vigilante. You know? Because is vigilantism illegal in the UK? Don't you dare throw your tomatoes at me. Yeah, protect your peace. You know, and I think Lottie's very much correct in saying so, that just block them. Eventually, the algorithm of your FYP will filter it out, and you will hardly ever see or hear of them. I'm telling you. It's true. You know, only if you get caught. Oh, that's interesting. Sometimes, no, exactly. But do you know what? But I believe TikTok should be. See, this is the thing, though, right? People love to hate. No, that is very true, Hungry Guy. Like you, that is very true. I mean, like, the thing is, though, right, is that I am not on that side of TikTok, right? So the problem is, thank you, faces of TikTok. I've seen your little figures that you're doing. You know, the issue, I think, is, oh shit, I just lost my point. God damn it. Oh, what was the point I was going to make? It probably wasn't going to be fucking worth it, but hello. Oh, sorry. Right. Yeah. So I'm more on the side of TikTok of having fun, trying to be entertaining, and for it to be an escape, you know, just so that people can, you know, it's just a bit of stupidity. Oh my God, I'm a pretty girl. Thank you, Amanda. You know, that people can just chill, not have to stress, not expect me to start beefs with people for drama purposes. You know, and yeah, like, you know, Mrs. DeVere will appear and all that jazz. Thank you, Laffy. Thank you, Sarah. It's just chaos. It's true, actually. This is true. You know, but then when it becomes too deep and too personal and too, I don't know, too much. Like, I just think that, as I say, we have a responsibility and a promise almost to ourselves that we should just, you know, go like, nah, I don't want that. You know, you remember you can reset your feed and stuff like that as well. That's a thing. And I think, you know, I know my intention on this app: have fun and like, let's get on with it, kind of thing. And I do appreciate that there are some people out there that do have invested interests in awareness lives or something like that. Vigilantism is a difficult subject to approach, I think. Yeah, no, but Amanda, what I'm saying is, like, when somebody takes it upon themselves to, you know, to bring awareness and then carry on and on and on and on and on, does that not become vigilantism? Because rather than just then going to the police and letting them get on with their jobs, it's more they're trying to make it like, well, I don't know whether they want to make it happen. They're just trying to take justice into their own hands, take the law into their own hands, you know? I think it's a bit sad as well, to some degree, when, yeah, there are more people out there that could be spent, like, more time could be spent on other people to bring awareness to more people, you know? Like, for instance, with Fat Freak, you know? When I'm scrolling through my FYP, and I see one of his clips, I'll always sort of hang around and go like, what, you know, is this like an awareness kind of thing, or is it just like a funny video kind of thing? And I've always said this to everyone: if you ever do a scrolly and you see a video of Fact Freak and it is of like an awareness, like, you know, to highlight a wrong or whatever on the app, you have to repost it and share it. That is raising awareness. But sitting there day in, day out talking about the same person, it's just like, surely that's a little bit like, yeah, bashing your head against a brick wall, really. No, wait, is that the definition of insanity or something? When when you keep doing the same thing and expect a different outcome, is that what it is? Hate Live, yeah. If Fat Freak had integrity, he'd be doing a deep dive on Jojo, to be honest. She deserves one. Well, but that, I mean, that is your opinion. But at the end of the day, I don't think I think Fat Freak pretty much likes Jojo, and that's also fine, you know? So I don't think that's going to ever materialize. I think at the end of the day, if she can learn from the fact of like actually maybe take a bit of sort of, you know, a bit of stock and go like, oh shit, I think maybe I've been going a bit too far. I need to move on a little bit. Like no one's saying that she can't then go back to Elphaba at some stage, but like she's now would you believe it? She's made her bed, so now she needs to lie in it. Because I now think that, like, if she ever then talks about Elphaba again, she'll always be branded obsessed and, like, with Elphaba. So really, I think, logically speaking, if you're going to do stuff, just do it behind the scenes, move on with other people or to other people, and then, you know, and, you know, carry on your endeavours off app, you know? She won't rein it in at all. Well, it's down to her to make the decision. If she wants to carry on, she'll carry on. But, you know, she's only then proving the anti-TikToker's point, right? And if egos are anything to be involved in, I think I would like to think that you would put your ego aside to not. No, wait. No, that's the thing. It's like some people can't put their egos aside for 2 seconds just to go, you know what? I think I don't need to sort of carry on a certain narrative or whatever. What was that? She said tonight it comes from losing her voice she lost in her past. What? What does that mean? That's a bit cryptic. Is it cryptic? I don't know. What does that mean? I'm not entirely sure. Excuse me. Hold on. Still.
Hello, it's just a quick
sausage.
one.
You're right. Thank you.
Sorry if you can hear the TV in the background.
That's all right. What are you watching?
My husband's got YouTube on. So,
Fair enough.
yeah, what it is, it's just basically, she said that she's gone through some crap in the past, basically, and that she wasn't able to have her voice before. And so now she's trying to sort of have that voice. You know when somebody's gone through something and they couldn't stand up for themselves?
Yeah.
That's what she's trying to do now, is have that voice. I mean, tonight she was like, okay, admittedly, I've come across a bit full on and a bit shouty. I'm going to try and be more compassionate. You know, I own up to that, and that is my fault.
Yeah.
And she said, you know, I'm going to try and call it on that front. She said, but this comes from a place where I didn't have a voice in the past and I was shut down. And now I'm trying to find my voice and give it back to the people that never had it.
See, I still find that interesting, though, because of, like, the ladies that popped up earlier. And it's just, like, the complete shutdown that they went through under her jurisdiction. I still find it a bit weird when you hear that. But, you know, but the fact that she's, well, I mean, at the end of the day, the anti-TikToker laid it out pretty clearly. Like, she either needs to address that question about where she got this information from, because if she doesn't, then, well, it'll go further and whatnot. And listen, I appreciate that, but we've all gone through stuff well, maybe not all of us, because some people don't, we all get dealt different cards, and fair enough that she wants to, she's sort of getting that that voice back or whatever. I can understand that, but hearing from the three ladies earlier, I just sort of feel like, well, but are you just saying, like, this is the cynicism in the cynical side, where I'm just like, well, are you just saying that because you've now been called out? And like, now that people have come out of the woodwork to speak out against you, are you now just trying to say that to sort of save face, and that's just the cynicism, like the cynical, part of my brain. And I don't like to think like that, but I just, like, as she has said before, we always have to believe the victim first, right?
Yeah. I mean, what I saw a bit of what the ladies were saying. I mean, whatever the mods have said, yeah, okay, they are mods for Jojo, but Jojo cannot be held accountable for what somebody else has said. It's like that whole saying, I say to my kids, who's responsible for your actions? And they always go, well, me. So I
get that, but they have also said that Jojo has actually also gone at them in the same manner.
I didn't hear that bit.
Yeah. So that's and then, because like my whole point was obviously because she proclaims that she's a voice of the voiceless, she's there to protect those that are weaker, that can't defend themselves, yet she'll set the dogs on individuals that can't speak for themselves or that are vulnerable in the same respect. That's why sort of I will personally take what you've just obviously said that she has said with a pinch of salt and see what happens, because at the end of the day, she's the one that needs to kind of change what she's doing, because I guess the reality is that I think she's gotten a little bit too far down the rabbit hole with Elphaba, and she's a bit lost in trying to get out of it. If she can get out of it and move on to other people and sort of change things up, that would be refreshing. But the problem is, the minute she goes back to Elphaba, there will be a general consensus of, oh, here we go, the obsessed one with Elphaba again. She's already been branded that now, so she can't, that won't disappear.
Yeah, no, I get where you're coming from. I just think, we all have things in our past that create behaviours,
Yeah.
I think it's just maybe, this is why Jojo's doing what she's doing. I mean, I used to watch you a lot, Pockerz, when you did Tuna Tuesdays.
Yeah.
And, people obviously called you out for it as well. And you had your own reasons for doing what you did. But people obviously said that you were bullying. I didn't see it that way. I used to love it. I found it funny. But because of your reasons, you did it that way. So what I'm saying is your experiences led to that, and maybe Jojo's experiences are leading her to do what she's doing.
But I guess the difference maybe between me and Jojo is that I would never profess to claim that I'm sort of doing things for awareness purposes and start deep diving into people's personal lives and phone up people and stuff like that. That's, as I say, the difference between me and her is I did a show once a week. She does a show every day. But yeah. I mean, like, she this is the thing. We all have reasons for why we do things and how we behave and act or whatever, because of because if something's happened or whatever. But I just think that, do you know what I think is? I can only hope that Jojo can learn from this and move forward and grow in a healthy manner. Do you see what I'm saying? You know, because the last thing that she needs is then for these same sort of attributes and amongst mods and stuff to carry on under, you know, like under her jurisdiction, and also her acting in the same manner. Because if that carries on, then she hasn't learned, and thus, you know, any apology given meant nothing in the first place.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying. I mean, what you were saying a minute ago about, you know, just scrolling on and not being on the drama side of things, I think as well, that's all very well and good, but when you have kids that are on this app, you know, I put in the comments, I don't allow either of my kids on social media at all, because
100%.
But there are
I completely agree with you.
Yeah, there are parents out there that will allow their kids on social media, and they will see behaviours that creators like Elphaba and that do, and think, oh yeah, I should do that. And I think that's another reason why people like Jojo do what they do, is to say, hang on a minute, that's not okay. You've got minors in here that watch you and think that's all right to do, and it's not.
Yeah. No, I do agree. I just, but I think at this point in time, though, like, unfortunately, I think Jojo's now made Elphaba a victim, and I think when you then make someone a victim, it does. I think it does weaken the argument that you're trying to put out in the first place.
I think some of the behaviours definitely make. I mean, whatever happened the other night with that person with AI, that definitely paints Elphaba as a victim, which isn't fair.
Oh no, I haven't seen it. I've heard about it, but I haven't seen it. I mean, like, you know, look, at the end of the day, I think intent can be. It might be hard to justify, but you know, if Jojo believes that she's doing it for the right reasons, then okay. But on the other foot is you have to appreciate that other people will have an opinion that will very much disagree. I mean, like for instance, someone said earlier that they just asked a simple question about the money that she gets or something. Now, at the end of the day, it was a simple question, but to block them from the live, I thought was a bit slightly extreme. Because unfortunately, that kind of mentality then generates that echo chamber-esque environment, because you're not allowing people to have their opinions. So that's why I think also with Jojo is that sometimes it does come across that it's okay for her to give her viewpoints and do what she's doing, but the minute that someone comes back, it's like that's not okay.
Yeah, no,
I mean, but I mean, we all handle things differently and whatnot, you know.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes I've seen people ask about the money, and she will genuinely be like, okay, this is what I do. But I think sometimes she gets an absolute ton of trolls, and that's when she's just like, do you know what? I'm not going to answer because I have had enough today. And she's just like, right, do one. Because she just gets it all in one go. But generally, she will turn around and go, okay, this is what I've done, this is where it goes. And she'll do it that way. I can see both sides of the coin here. You know, I'm not sort of 100% going, oh yeah. But what I'm saying is that, you know, there has to be accountability to certain creators for the behaviour that they show. I mean, it's like Elphaba says, oh, I have 18 plus on. No, they don't. And then when they're doing the behaviours that can genuinely be harmful, they go, oh, well, then it's the parents' fault. Absolutely no, it's not the parents' fault. You need to be held accountable for what you've just done and potentially triggered a hell of a lot of people, and you're not doing it.
That and I think the buck has to stop with the creator that clicked the live button. I'm sorry, but you know, if I click the live button and decide to do something absolutely grotesque, that is on me, because I clicked the live button. I did the actions, you know? And I think the thing is, though, is that, and I've said this before, right, and I stand by it, that, you know, bad behavior on this app, especially in the drama talk circle, is rewarded because it creates drama. But doesn't make it right. Because you do that in real life. You honestly, like, if you did that in a real place of work, you would get sacked. You would probably have police proceedings as well. It's, you know, the thing with social media is it's fucking feral, you know?
It is. And I think this is the problem, is that people will do something like when Elphaba got the butter knife, like when, you know, they're hitting themselves.
Oh, yeah.
They'll go, well, you pushed me to it. You made me do it. No. If you felt that triggered, you come off live, you deal with your own problems. You do not trigger minors or anybody that has gone through that on live to go, oh my God, what the hell did I just witness?
Yeah.
But they don't
And you know,
have responsibility for that.
Yeah, I know. I mean, like, and do you know what the thing is that I think I don't know if I can't remember who said it now. You know, about like the upbringing that it might have been Lottie actually, like the upbringing and whatnot that Elphaba's had. And look, we can clearly see that there is obviously some very much disconnecting. And I'm not going to start bloody trying to parent shame anybody or whatever, but, you know, everyone has different parenting styles, and obviously clearly some are a little bit, yeah, like some are a little bit lackluster in discipline and whatnot than others and whatnot. And I think, unfortunately, that then shows, but whether or not Elphaba actually is capable of taking critique on board enough without feeling like she's being trolled, because you think about it, when you get trolled so much or whatever, and you deal with so much negativity coming from every which angle, when you get that one person trying to be genuine to try and help, you obviously instantly have that defense mechanism because you don't know how to handle actual, you know, help.
Yeah,
it's just wild either way. I mean, and don't get me wrong, like, just like Laura said, like Andy said as well, yeah, I don't condone the fucking shit that Elphaba does, but if you remove Elphaba from the equation, the formula still is the same in relation to the traits on which Jojo obviously has been doing things, you know?
Yeah, I just think that I totally agree that perhaps, you know, people bringing light to EQ is not EQ, bringing life to Elphaba is leaving her on the app. I get it, but I also think they're going to be on it even if we ignore them, because there's still going to be minors on there, and
don't you think? Yeah, don't you think that with what information that, say, Jojo has been able to acquire, don't you think that she would be able to do more without saying it, if that makes sense? So, like, rather than coming live and talking about the things that she's been doing and basically playing her hand day in, day out so that Elphaba can hear exactly what she's doing, don't you think that it actually makes more sense to work, not in a seedy way, but like work behind the scenes to actually get things sorted, put things in place, get things in motion, so that then the correct authorities have the right information to then deal with this appropriately, swiftly and strongly, without then somebody then coming online and then telling everybody exactly what it is that she's been doing. Does that make sense?
From what I understand, she's only giving us 10% of what she's doing. She's not giving us everything. So it's like giving us the surface.
But then she's just giving us the surface for the content purposes, when really, I think, like, if it's genuinely a bigger deal than she's letting on, I just, like, why give Elphaba the clout? Why give Elphaba the attention that she is then getting? Because every time, see, like, even like today, right? Every time we say Elphaba, like, you know, it's just like, well, that's just another time that her name's been uttered and been mentioned. And I just think Jojo is then, though maybe say the intention is the right thing in Jojo's head, you know, I think also coming live sort of, you know, daily, talking about her, telling everybody what she's been doing, I don't think that helps. Like, it helps, but, you know.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah. It creates more traffic to Elphaba's page by doing the awareness. Yeah, no, I do get where you're coming from. like I say,
promo, good or bad, is, you know, promo, right?
Yeah, you know, I'm not sort of saying, you know, one way or the other. I'm just, social media is toxic at the best of times.
Oh God, yeah. And I mean, and I totally agree with you. Like, I mean, I would never, like, my boy will not be touching TikTok for as long as I'm still on it. That's for fucking sure, because we understand that this is not the place for any child. Like, when you're 18, fine, but but then the problem is as well with those bans and stuff, you know, like they did in Australia. It's just like, how do you police it? You know, like, oh, what if a 13-year-old or under is caught with TikTok on their phone? What's the repercussion? You know, I think it's such a hard thing to police, and I think the only way that you probably could police it strongly is if you actually, just like in schools, you know, if your kid doesn't attend school of a certain percentage and whatnot, you can get into the shit as a parent, because it's just like, well, why is your kid not going to school? I think it should be the same maybe with social media. You have to put the accountability onto the parent whilst they're still a child, because you are the parent. And I know that's like, that might be, like, I know some parents might be like, oh, fucking, you know, but it's like, well, at the end of the day, fucking be a parent. And, you know, if you actually care about your children, like if TikTokers did seminars or went round to schools and explained to kids how toxic and vile and dangerous social media actually can be, they'll soon eventually realize that, oh shit, you know, that the TikTok can be fun, and it is fun. But if you go into the wrong part, if you walk down the wrong street, then it gets fucking scary, you know what I mean?
Well, this is the thing. My eldest is 12 in a few weeks, and we've bought an app that we can completely control their phones and block all social media.
Oh, yeah, I heard Chippy saying about that.
This one's called Crustado, I think that's how you pronounce it. And it's cost us an absolute fortune, but we have full control of their phones. So that's why we do it, just so we can protect them.
100%.
But there's a lot of parents out there that wouldn't.
Yeah, that's true.
You've got to do that because there are kids that are sneaky and will go around things. But like, of course, with all the things on social media, especially, you know, these stupid challenges that people go, oh yeah, you know, come try this challenge.
I hate them. Like,
and I think
like the cinnamon challenge was terrible.
I think this is where, you know, accountability and stuff does come in, because there is there's some parents, isn't there, that's taking TikTok and doing them because their kids have died. And I think this is where the basis comes from for awareness creators, is like, well, hang on a minute, you're doing this, kids are watching you, that could then put them at harm, but you're putting the onus on the parents. No, you're the creator, you've done this, you take accountability for what these other people are doing.
Yeah. And you know what, I think as well, this is where thank you, Sprouts. I think this is where also it's just like, we shouldn't just vilify TikTok, you know, and I think social media as an entity is obviously toxic, you know. However, as I say, there are the pockets of fun and entertainment, and it doesn't need to be toxic. But you just, you know, as I say, I think sometimes when you are exposed to it, you only can kind of see, I guess, the doom and gloom of it, you know. And I do believe that I think it should be. I would much rather my son learn about, like, online safety, social media, like the dangers and, like, you know, like that kind of awareness kind of thing, than sat down in a classroom learning how to do algebra. Like, I don't understand. When does algebra come into real life? Absolutely not. And schools don't prepare kids for real life. I appreciate that, like, you know, general mathematics, general English, you know, that kind of shit, of course. But, like, yeah, exactly, Susanna, life skills. Like, fucking hell, do you honestly think, like, you know, you can imagine the next generation of kids are probably going to be like, oh, how do we cook a meal? Oh, well, you just order it on Uber Eats. You know?
Well, this is the thing.
Do you know what I mean?
Some algebra, whatever it was, and he was like, "Mum, can you help me?" I was just like, "No, go ask your dad because I don't know."
Yeah,
So,
fucking ask ChatGPT. I ain't got a fucking clue. Like,
exactly, you don't know what to do. And this is the thing. Like when I was at school, the way I was taught is completely different to the way they're taught.
yeah. I honestly, I'll be honest with you. I've completely blanked out my life in school. I don't even know what I did. Like,
Oh, no, I'm the same. I hated my school life, so I'm just like, yeah, no, you have a better time. I'll ignore what I did.
yeah, no, exactly. But it's true. It's just like, but I don't think like, you know, everything should be put onto schools. I think at the end of the day, it's a collaborative effort, you know. And I appreciate, and I say at the end of the day, like we as parents have a certain responsibility, and the schools have a certain level of responsibility. I mean, like as a kid, right? What do you mean? What, you don't know how to cook a meal at 40? First of all, I'm 32, Katie, so fuck you. Secondly, I do know how to cook a meal. And thirdly, I don't even know if that was actually meant to be aimed at me, but I'm going to take it that way.
I mean, to be fair, I'm 37 shortly, and I hate cooking. So,
yeah. Thank you, Ginger Gemini. You're right, sausage. Yeah, I mean, I just think that. Crikey, I meant me, not you. Oh, okay, sorry. I thought you were attacking me. You really triggered me for a second there, Katie. I'm not going to lie. No. But do you know what I mean? It's just, but and then is it a hypothetical question or an ethical question? Maybe. So I don't want to keep using Elphaba as like the focal point, right? But where do we then sort of take a stance when does like society fail somebody? Because like, and this is, and the reason why I say that is because it's like when you get those unfortunate cases where, you know, like I'm not going to sort of say too much, but like I'll just proclaim a trigger warning just in case. But you know, like obviously when like there are kids in the care system that get, you know, essentially forgotten, which we have all seen before, and obviously you know, where the social system or whatever fails the kids and whatnot on a drastic scale. You know, like because when I look at then say like Elphaba, because like she's still quite young, right? So it's like there's this whole thing of, well, I think that like this is my personal opinion, where it's like I think Maria, so like, you know, so the parents, I don't even know where Elphaba's dad is or whatever, but I'll say parents in general, you know, it's just like I feel like the parents have failed Elphaba.
100%.
You know, I feel like there is a certain level of the system that's failed Elphaba, and then where she's then coming onto TikTok, and because of its toxicity, and she's then allowed to essentially be paraded around and then rewarded for that, it's completely warped her sense of reality.
Yeah, no, if we're using...
Hello, Ginger.
If we're, again, going to use Elphaba as a context, so...
Yeah.
Maria is definitely...
I was trying not to, but, you know.
Yeah, no, Maria has definitely failed Elphaba. The way I see it, because of Elphaba's upbringing, she's in a toxic and I wouldn't say codependent, but they sort of, the way they sort of bounce off it just doesn't work, the two of them. And because of their upbringing, they haven't learned pro-social behaviours. Now, I know from what Elphaba said before, they've tried to go into therapy. I don't think Elphaba is in the mindset to actually accept what therapy is saying, because I 100% know therapy would be telling them, get off social media. It is not good for your mental health. It is making you worse. Get off it. Get in society and meet people. And I think that for somebody like Elphaba, she needs I don't know what the council term would be. You know, I don't know that side of it. But like a worker that can support them and be like, okay, this is, you know, how to live in society.
Oh, right, yeah.
In a PA, somebody that can help.
Support worker, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get you.
The care coordinator, maybe?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that would probably make more sense, yeah.
Can I just say, I'm a child that was failed in the system. I was thrown in and out of the system. I was abused in the system. I was homeless and all this. Like, I feel like Elphaba gets a lot of free passes because she's had a lot going on. I'm not going to deny that. But it's never an excuse to behave the way you do.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true.
I mean, people think, because she's had a hard life, this is the way she is. I used to sit there and think, like, people that were bad to me, I used to be like, oh my God, they've been through so much. And then I'm like, no, I've been through stuff too. I'm not, do you know what I mean? It's no excuse to treat anyone or behave that way. The entitlement that comes from Elphaba alone is crazy.
And this is what I was saying earlier, Pockerz, when she goes on about it's because I'm autistic. You know, I say, no, I'm autistic. And if somebody turns around to me and says, that's not on, I'll go, oh, I'm sorry. I'll try and phrase it a different way. It's that
you actually have accountability.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You know, I think what I've gone through means I can do that.
Yeah. And I feel like, oh, sorry, is Mr. Mystic Wolf.
It helps you understand, right? See, whenever like people do things, it helps you understand why they do these things, but it's not an excuse for doing these things. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Totally agree. Like my husband was just saying, our daughter is quite severely autistic. Yeah. So she can come out with stuff and you just think, oh my God. And people will go, whoa, and we'll go, we do apologise, she is autistic. And then we try and explain to her, you know, why that isn't okay. She'll take quite a while to understand it, but eventually she'll get there. Mm-hmm. And that's when we sort of go, you know, do you understand that? And she'll be like, oh, okay. You know, we don't say to her, oh, you know, that's completely fine. You know, you get away with that because you're autistic. We go, actually, no. Let's work this through with you so you see it from their perspective.
And I mean, like Sebastian's just made a good point, but reporting on every move they make across social media will place them as a victim more.
That's true. Elphaba loves to be the victim, so they do.
Of course.
I do agree with what Sebastian's saying, but I think it's got to that point because they act so entitled. People have got to the point where they've gone, do you know what? Now enough's enough. I really want this person off now. Mm-hmm. If they hadn't sort of been so entitled, they would have turned around and gone, do you know what? Sod off or whatever. But the fact that they act so entitled makes people go, do you know what? Go away. We've really had enough now.
Sorry, but this is reminding me of someone else. I don't want to bring their name onto your platform, Pockerz, but I can guess. You can guess who it is. Is
it LT by any chance?
Let's not go there.
They're very similar,
but yeah, I can. You know what? I completely agree. Very true, very true. You know, I just think that, as I say, it's when you're paraded around and you. This is the thing as well. Like, where Elphaba is young, and I'm not saying that, but you've got to, I think, not appreciate, but understand, I guess, that maybe there's a certain level of naivety where the fact that when you then involve money, because could you imagine any of us being 22 years old and then, or even younger than that, but like getting gifted heavily on a social media app and having all this money out of nowhere, it obviously, the money corrupts like your mindset as well, doesn't it? Like,
yeah. What's that saying? Money is the root of all evil.
I believe that. Do you know what?
Evil.
I hate having money. I really struggle, so I do. I would rather sit with nothing and be happy. I just don't. I'm not the sort of person that wants a big ton of money around me.
I'm the same, but I think then again, this is why people have had enough. It's because they were like, oh, we want this money so we can, you know, transition, and then they've squandered it. And especially in the times
that's
that we're
an insult.
You know, people have gone, hang on, I've given you my hard-earned cash, you know, I've tried to help you out. you've spent it on designer bags, you know.
Pokemon cards, basically.
Yeah, it's like that is a real kick in the face to people that have genuinely tried to do the right thing.
And see people that are trying to transition and sitting watching this and just being like, well, why does an awful person like that get all the money to transition whenever they're sitting on a waiting list for 5 years? Do you know what I mean? It's just a kick in the teeth to them, really.
Exactly.
This is what I mean. It's that I don't think I will ever really understand how bad behaviour is really rewarded, especially on this app particularly.
Oh, it is 100%. The worse you are.
But
it's known as Schadenfreude. I don't know if you know the
Schadenfreude.
Yeah, Avenue Q.
Avenue Q, yeah.
I've seen that on stage. Schadenfreude. It's people taking pleasure in your pain.
Oh my God, I had a stalker, so I did for 8 years. So yeah.
And this is the thing, you know. This is why drama talk works, because people take pleasure in others' pain.
But listen, I am always the first one to admit I enjoy a little bit of drama talk. I'll give my 2 pence in now and then. I could not sit like that all the time. I don't know how anyone does it.
No,
that's why I skirt around the edges.
You do so well, Pockerz, with it. You do. You stay very diplomatic with it all.
And this is the thing. I'll sort of browse through. I'll be sat there sort of flick. I mean, even me eldest will turn around and be like, "Are you doom scrolling again?" I'm like, "Yes," because I just literally sit there and just go through it.
I can see how TikTok's very addictive, though. Like obviously, I'm starting to go live a lot more, and then like I said, I would do it 3 times a week, and then I'm catching myself going more and more and more.
Because honestly,
I literally
I'm like a fly to shit.
Like this is the only time I go live is if I'm talking to somebody. I don't even do normal live because I can't be bothered with it.
Oh, I'm consistently stuck in drama, so I am with one person.
I couldn't possibly think who that is, but
did you see what happened yesterday?
No.
So, do you know the petition we were sharing for Maya's Law?
Oh yeah.
So we all went in. I went into the live, and I was like, I jumped up in the box and bigged everyone up, and she was there, and then she left and went live and decided she contacted my abuser and outed my whole trauma all over TikTok.
Oh no, I was scrolling through when I was doing the scrolly. I come across your video, and I was just like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
like that made no sense. Like once again, this is, and you know that attribute and that pattern of behavior or that kind of behavior is just like that's like a different level of psychotic.
But I also think it's because people are one step removed, so you're not doing it face to face, you're doing it off a phone, and it's taking away some of that accountability.
Yeah,
it's like the original keyboard warrior back from the early 2000s, you know what I mean? Like it's just
whenever I've got things wrong in this app, I've literally turned around and said, look, I am sorry, and I will do anything to make it right. Do you know what I mean? Like obviously nobody likes to be wrong. Everyone hates to be wrong. Do you know what I mean? But if I'm wrong, and if I ever felt like I hurt someone or someone told me, look, you hurt me with that, I'd be like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to do that. Or I would try and fix it. Do you know what I mean? But some people in this app are just like, nope.
Yeah. Intention, I guess, is always quite important. And sometimes it gets lost in translation, right?
Yeah.
Which is true. You know, because like, I could talk about someone, but I know my intentions. But of course, when it then gets screen recorded and then is then played by then another person plays it and takes it out of context. But I understand in my head that, well, if my intention was just a passing comment, it's like I meant no harm or malice by it, then by proxy, it's just like I would think it would carry over. And I appreciate and understand that not everyone will get that because, of course, you know, people's levels of humor are different, all that jazz. We're all different. But like you said, though, Ginger Gemini, that I would, you know, if someone wanted an apology, I'd give it to him if they generally felt upset by something I said, because I don't mean it to upset, you know.
I also think one of the things with this app is people become too pally and like, oh yeah, they're my best. You don't know people on this app.
Yeah.
You know,
But then that goes back to the parasocial relationship, doesn't it? Because it's just like we're all just strangers on the internet. Let's be real, you know.
I was learning about that, the parasocial relationship. I didn't actually. Oh, Willow's petition. Oh, do you mind if we share it, Pockerz?
Of course, I don't mind. If I said I mind, then I'm a twat. But I don't mind at all. So share it.
So Willow's petition. Willow sadly passed away due to bullying at school. So her mother, there's no accountability taken from the bullies. They were around the ages of 14. She used to go to school, be horrendously bullied, come home, go online and be horrendously bullied even more. Willow's mum wants the police and the schools to work together, not to criminalise children, but to work together to maybe put some consequences and actions for things like this. So if any of you can please go and sign it. Willow's Law, there's a website, just Google it, Willow's Law. It's on 16,000 and we need to get to 100,000 by March.
My husband is literally doing it right now.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
And I will do it when I come off before I go to bed.
Thank you. Well, see, this petition was being shared, but then that certain person I don't get on with decided to tell lies about the mother, and it ruined it. Do you know what I mean? It ruined it. People didn't want to sign then because there was a whole big drama around it. But
oh, of course, yes, Courtney. Yes, I remember now.
Yeah, Courtney goes live every night from she literally got all her podcast equipment.
Well, this is
she did. Oh, well, that's good.
Like my daughter at the minute, she's not in school because of being autistic and everything like that. They want to try and move her to another mainstream school. And I've said, no, I want her in an SEN school because I think she's more likely to get bullied going to another mainstream school.
Yeah. And that's sad. My little boy gets bullied, so he does. He obviously...
Well, she's muted.
Sorry, he's just walked in the room, so he has. I'll jump down, so I will, because he's woke up.
No worries, Ginger Gemini. Thank you, Pickle. I appreciate you.
Thank you for having me. Nice to meet you, Mystic
You're
Wolf.
welcome.
You too.
See you later, Pockerz. Bye.
Bye. Right, listen, Mystic Wolf, I'm not going to lie, I'm absolutely shattered and I need to go to sleep because I've got a busy day with a child going to a zoo.
That's fine. To be fair, I'm just talking to you laid in bed watching the telly anyway, so...
Oh, fair enough. No, but you know what? I think I never normally do this, obviously, as most of you guys know, because I'm never one up this late and to do this. But sometimes it's nice to have a different kind of, do a different kind of live sometimes, have a chin wag. And this is the thing, like I've got no problem whatsoever with anyone coming in, giving their opinion, sharing a difference of opinion, providing that we can sit down and talk like adults and sort of try and understand each other. Because my viewpoint would say will disappear, or no, not disappear, will maybe not align with someone else's, but I'm always happy to have an actual conversation. That's why I say I skirt around the edges of drama talk, because I think I use and apply maybe a little bit too much logic, so that if I was involved in drama talk, it just wouldn't work.
I think part of being autistic is I'm quite logical. So when people, like I said earlier, try and be like, oh, well, she said this, so I feel offended, I'm like, take emotion out of it. But I did have to ask before I came on with you. My husband turned around to me and went, who are you arguing with now? I was like, nobody. I'm not arguing. I'm having a nice chat.
Yes, so, we're having a delightful chat, yes.
And like he's just said, I like the psychology, because I've got a degree in forensic psychology. I like the psychology aspect of it, and I look at it from that side. So I always try and see both sides of things and try and look at why somebody's brain might be doing what they're doing. So sometimes,
of course,
when you were saying about vigilantism, and Amanda was saying about those hunter groups, I can't stand those hunter groups, and people would turn around to me and go, oh, are you a sympathizer? No, it's because you're putting that person at risk before they've even had a trial, and you're potentially swaying a jury's decision because it goes up online and you're putting, the amount of people that see them, you're putting them at risk. After they've been convicted, fair enough, do what you want to do, but you don't put it online now.
Do you know what? I think the reason, I mean, maybe there's a strong reason why people get into like the sort of vigilantism of certain things is because of how flawed our general judicial system is.
Yes.
Because
I can understand why they do it.
Yeah.
I just think they do it the wrong way. I mean, there is one group that's very good and they don't put anything up till after the conviction, which I think is fair enough.
Oh, okay.
Do it that way because then you have an actual record of it. But these people that go out and just do it and go, oh, yeah, we've got all this information. Well, hang on a minute. They've had I can't even say the word, judicial. That big word. Yeah. And you're then taking away from that actual aspect that goes into the case, the evidence, everything that goes with it.
Yeah.
And then potentially, if they then are found not guilty, you're also putting their lives at risk when they have to go back out in the public.
That's true. It is true.
So,
I mean, yeah. Oh, fucking hell.
It's that side of things as well. There's
Jesus
so
Christ.
many risks involved. If they're convicted, fair enough, do whatever you've got to do. But before that, there are so many, and because of the way society sees people like that, there are so many risks. It is not worth it.
It's true. I've never thought of it really like that, actually.
Yeah, but
Bloody
this is the thing. People would, and this is where I say the psychology interests me, because people would see me as a sympathizer, but actually, no, I look at, societal aspects, the psychology of it, everything that goes with it, and go, actually, there's a lot deeper process to it that matters.
That's true. It's like, it's the what do you call it? The innocent until proven guilty.
Yes.
Is that the right phrase?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's hard though, isn't it? Because especially when it comes in relation to PDF hunter groups and stuff like that. That because of course, like as parents, I'm sure you can maybe agree. That of course, as parents, like we're doing everything we can in which to protect our children, right?
Yes.
And obviously, of course, the minute that I hear that someone's that way inclined, shall we say, like I couldn't wish them any more of a painful ending. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly. But you want it to be done the right way so that they get, what they need.
Emotions.
Yeah, rather than risking them not getting the conviction that they actually deserve.
Yeah, it's true.
That's the way I see it. This is where my logical brain takes over, is I always take emotion out of the equation.
And that's the thing. Sometimes things are emotionally charged first.
Yes.
Because that's what I mean. I feel like with the kind of vigilantism of certain things, like especially on this app and whatnot, like I feel that, I guess, yeah, you're right. I think personal emotion should be taken out of a situation first, because otherwise that personal emotion and feelings can pretty much cloud I think a lot of our abilities to sort of articulate without it coming across as like a hate campaign, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think sometimes potentially things get lost in translation, and what you want to do, so like, again, obviously we're using it as an example, like with Elphaba and the vulnerable children, you're going to go, oh, well, there's vulnerable people, and, explode because you're emotionally charged. Well, actually, if you took that emotion away and go, okay, well, look at the behavior that they're displaying and the people that then are following that behavior, that's the bit that matters. It's not, whatever it is they're doing, it's the people that then follow it. That's what you've got to focus on.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, sorry, I do go deep into these things just because.
No, I know, but yeah, no, it's yeah, no, but it's always good to hear difference of thought process and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like, I just think that
it's why I love watching serial killers. My husband says I'm going to try kill him in the night.
Do you know what? I believe the anti-TikTok is going to get me and John one day. Yeah. No, honestly, like if you meet him in person, like, oh Jesus Christ, he's this big gangly guy with a big old bushy beard, and you think like, oh God, you're gonna get me. You're like,
well, this is the thing. I think what you and John did came from a place of hurt. You know, I could see it came from hurt.
Yeah.
You know, and when people were going, it was this, it was that. I even said to my husband, no, it comes from a place of hurt.
Yeah.
Anyway,
silly bitch. Not you, obviously. Am I following you? Because no, there you go. Sorry, I do apologise.
Oh, thank you. Oh, does that blue thing in the top of the corner mean people that have followed me?
What blue thing are you?
You know, top.
So you've been gifted 10 diamonds.
Oh, well, thank you to whoever gifted me, because, like I say, I barely even come on live, so.
And that's fine. I appreciate the 30%.
Oh, yeah, you would get 30%, wouldn't you?
Yes. I love the 30%. Yes, I do.
Right, I will let you get some sleep. And to be fair,
thank you, Mr. Wolf. No, I appreciate you. Like, thank you for coming up, though. Like, you know, because
I'm normally I think some by now anyway. So.
No worries. Thank you. Thank you. Do you want me to kick you out again?
I'm going to see if I know how to. Let's see if I do it.
I'm going to put you in the big box just to. Oh, yeah, she's fucked off. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. She's fucked off. She has. Oh, dearie me. Well done, Mr. Wolf. Ding dong indeed. Ah, dear. Hello, John. I love you too, Camel Toe Disco. Do you know, I appreciate you all. Thank you so much for being here. John, I heard about your storm situation, so you didn't get to go to the private island, which actually really sucks, because if that's like a big focal point of you wanting to go there, like, yeah, that's a shit biscuit, that is. Swimming with pigs, though. Is that what Brad says when he goes swimming with you, or are you actually telling me that you've gone skinny dipping with an actual pig?